wealth, fame, power. Did you ever realize that if you're going to have any of these, it won't be because you did well in school? Welcome to Unaccredited, the podcast where we give each other monthly homework, and the only grades we get are judgments on our takes. I'm Tommy,
Dalton.
and class is in session. Uh, very Dalton centered episode we have here. I kind
It
of
is.
picked something knowing that it would be something you really wanted to do. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it'd
Uh,
be good. I did almost have my intro reference the Will of D, but I know that that's not something you got to with One Piece yet, so I opted out.
yeah, I mean, it would have just sounded like words to me. Do you have a an intro you could give? Is Will
No,
D
not
just
not a
another opening
just
or?
like for my name.
Oh,
Because my name also starts with D. But I guess as a high level, that's like kind of an ongoing mystery. There's like Monkey D. Luffy, Gold D. Roger, right? They've got the D initial.
interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's one more thing, I guess, for when I watch the remaining 900 plus episodes. Uh, yeah. It's an interesting intro to write, by the way, because I was like, okay, wealth, fame, power, haha. I'm like, this could be another thing where it's just an ADD thing. And then also just kind of the world as it is. Grades aren't going to get you, are only going to be one factor in a lot of ways. So
Yeah.
I was kind of one of those like, damn,
Our
how
world is
about that?
not nearly as free as the One Piece world.
I would love to get on a boat and go around and beat people up and get back on the boat. That sounds like a good time.
What's stopping you?
What's stopping me? Lake Michigan's a pretty boring place to do that. I
It could
think
be the
you've
Pirates of
got you've
Lake
got a
Michigan.
much more interesting opportunity than I do.
I
Uh,
think the Pirates of Lake Michigan would be great.
that does actually. In the same way, you've got like the Avengers team that exists in the Midwest with Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
It's just kind of funny on its own.
Yeah.
Uh, all right, you ready to get into questions?
Yeah, let's start our pop
All right,
quiz.
our pop quiz. So, Dalton, if you had Mr. Fantastic powers, what
Okay.
sport would you play?
So stretching. I mean,
Hmm.
we do have the best documentary of all time, Space Jam, where stretching powers does come into play.
True.
Um,
Yeah, that I
so you
didn't
could do
even think of that.
basketball. Um, Anything that you're catching, right? So
Mhm.
would be so basketball. You have both offense and defensive powers that it would help with, but additionally, like baseball, imagine like stopping a home run just by like, oh no, that's mine. That would be
Mhm.
pretty powerful. Um,
I like to
or
think
yeah,
because don't forget we're talking about Mr. Fantastic powers, and that can be stretching, that can be elasticity, that can also be I am now a boat.
that's
And
fair.
I use like my feet as a motor, and I'm now three times as fast as Michael Phelps.
That's true.
So there's always that factor.
But there is
Tr-
limits for like swimming to the forms you have to do, right? If you're doing backstroke
hmm
and you become a boat, they'll be like, that's not the stroke you're
You're
supposed to
right.
do.
It would be outside regulation. They're actually
Right.
apparently pretty strict with that with swimming. So there you
Yeah.
go. Swimming's out. Track probably also out. Was it? It has to be I like within the lines, and they would pretty quickly be like, no, there's a height thing too.
Yeah.
You can't just stretch
You could do
over.
like you could be the best like long or high jumper if you wanted track and field.
That's true. But I think you're right. I think catching is probably the way to go. You could
So
do the.
football, basketball,
I
um,
think baseball's a pretty good option. That's the first one
baseball
I
is a
thought of.
pretty good option. You could also like comically wind yourself up, right? And then
Hmm
the it comes and you have the
Yeah.
angular momentum
Mhm.
to hit the
You could
ball.
also there's so many ways to bat. You could do the Luffy thing where the ball comes to you and it just blows up out of you anytime someone tries to hit you with
I
a
think hit by pitch
walk.
would still just be a you would just still get a one base, and you have to
Maybe.
make an earnest attempt to not like go into it. You can't like initiate contact.
Yeah, because that's how hit by pitch, or
Yeah,
I don't know terms. That's how it usually goes, right? It's like it has to be
yeah, you can't
like,
initiate contact.
hmm. So, but if you did initiate contact, if on accident, not initiate, if it hit you and then you use that opportunity to launch it out into the stands,
I think they'd just be
what do you
annoyed
think the
at you.
ruling would be?
I think they'd just be annoyed at you, and you'd get one base.
Oh my God. I that would be the most like we hate the refs decision ever. And they would have to. They'd be like, don't be mad at me. Be mad at the fact that we have Mr. Fantastic on the Orioles. All
Yeah.
right. Uh
You could also be the best like goalie in any sport, right? You just like I filled the goal.
yes. Oh my God. So perfect.
You're like we just
Uh
need to score one and we win.
yeah, wait, no, seriously, anything with a goalie, like let's say hockey for instance.
Yeah,
You
because it
you
can't
just
end in
fill
a
up the
tie
entire
as well.
space.
Soccer, you could end in a tie if you're just bad at offense, but
Yeah. So you just you just brute force. Uh, has
you've
there
got
ever
like
been
100 rounds of shootout, but
oh
one
my
snuck in.
you could have the worst team ever because it really is they can't score.
Yeah.
And you'd be the biggest carry in all of sports.
So I guess
Uh
I don't know how. I guess if they shot it hard enough and it stretched you where the
mhm.
puck passed the goal line
Mm.
while still in your body, I think that would still count as a goal.
Well, that's an interesting thing too. Now that I think about it, what about the fact that you would have to be like laying out on ice the entire time? Like, would you just, as far as your own like capability, would you be able to like just
You'd still have pads on. They're not going to be like, oh, just because you stretch, you don't get to wear goalie pads anymore.
now I'm imagining someone going out in like a trash bag of a suit, knowing that they're going to expand out.
Yeah.
Hockey's a great choice. Soccer would always end in a tie. I think the most fun one to me is baseball. But basketball would have the best Looney Tunes. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Baseball, you could be a batter, you could be in the outfield or infield, I guess, but outfield is going to be better chances to like stop a home run. Or you could even be a pitcher and just like I'm going to hold the ball and wind it. I don't know how that would work or you'd probably have to have some sort of release. I don't know how that would could work. Could you just like stretch forward and whoosh your way
Oh
to
my
them?
God, the crazy pitches you would be able to do in
Or
baseball.
just like
Baseball,
throw
yeah.
your arm backwards to the stands and be like, this is a 400-mile-an-hour pitch. Good luck. And you have to switch catchers every pitch.
Yes, yes, because they just get knocked out.
Yeah, the catcher
Because
just
it's
doesn't try to catch it. They're just like,
you are the outfield, and then you've got eight players who are all just like terrified catchers.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Perfect. Uh, I'm sure with all of these sports, one Mr. Fantastic can win the game. Maybe not
Any
basketball.
superpower you break
Any,
because you break physics, you break athletics.
that's true. Now I kind of want to think like, what's the worst superpower to have in sports? Is it like any of those where it's like Toad? I think is the guy who spits acid. Is
Yeah,
that
I think he's
Toad's
got.
thing?
Does he have a stretchy tongue too, though?
Yeah, yeah,
Stretchy
but I
tongue
don't know.
alone.
I feel like they
Like any
pretty
heat
quickly
based
would be like,
power,
you can't lick the ball.
any heat
Heat
based
based is
power.
good. Yeah. As great as you would be at like getting around as Johnny Storm, you would melt the ball.
Yeah.
And that's probably destruction of the ball is probably not something you could do.
Right, like
Uh,
football, yeah, if you are able to hold the ball, you're going to score a touchdown, but also the ball's going
it'll pop.
to pop. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
I don't really know what the ruling would be. I mean, I can see
Hmm.
if there is a ruling. What
Yeah.
happens when the
Emergency
ball
check. What
if
happens if you
the
destroy the ball?
ball pops?
I do think stretchy
In
powers.
football,
If you, yeah,
there in foot if a football pops during live play in American football, play stops immediately as the ball becomes dead. So yeah, you're
yeah, you can't. The ball's dead every time you touch it.
yeah.
Uh,
I
yeah.
guess you could be like a terrifying defensive player. They're like, please don't throw it that direction.
That's another aspect. You just intimidate people.
Yeah,
And it's like, I dare you to throw it to me.
yeah.
There you go. That's so funny. You would every single sport would be just
Unless you have
ruined with
control
superpowers.
over it, like if you could only heat up like your legs or something and leave your hands untouched. I don't know.
There's gotta be an anime where there's like superpower people who play sports, right? That's out there.
Um,
Okay, cut this out
who
of the
plays
podcast. This is our
sports?
$1 million idea. We're going right to the bank.
There's segments that play sports, or there's like exaggerated sports, like a Blue Lock, for example. It's a bit exaggerated. They don't quite have superpowers, but they're also like high schoolers that are better than any pros would be in real life because
Oh
it's so
yeah,
exaggerated. Um, I think there's I think there's probably a sports section in like a My Hero Academia, though
yeah. I can see
I'm
that.
blanking. I know there's like
Nothing I remember.
there's a tournament sort of thing, but I don't think there's sports more than there is like there's like the game of chicken where you've got people riding on you and stuff, but there's got to be baseball though. There's a baseball scene in so many anime, right?
Yeah, you gotta have something like that in My Hero, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what you got for me?
Well, do you have do you have other ideas other than baseball? I guess it was just Mr. Fantastic Powers.
No, I think Mr. Fantastic would kick ass at baseball. That's really what I was
Yeah.
thinking when I was doing this. I think you're
All
right.
right.
Catching sports, track and fields could be interesting. I think probably lacrosse because you make your hand into like a little cup. You could do that. Can you
I
touch the
don't know
ball in
if it would.
lacrosse?
I don't. I mean,
That's the
maybe.
thing. There's two conversations here. It's how good would you be in sports, and how good would you be in regulation sports?
Right.
Like because
You would instantly be
going
the
out to
most
the
skilled in every sport, but would you
yeah,
be instantly disqualified? Is I guess the other question.
I think baseball is the only baseball, basketball, football, all the catching sports, catching and throwing and making a goal. So I guess
Dragon Ball's got a
soccer.
baseball scene.
They do.
It might be in Super, but there's definitely a baseball scene
I don't think I've seen that one.
because they
Uh,
make fun of Yamcha's pose in it. The,
they
it's
definitely
probably in
didn't do that
Super.
in anything I watched.
It's probably in Super.
Probably in Super. That's so funny. Poor
All right.
Yamcha.
Well, I guess as a precursor to my pop quiz question, I was thinking more about media that if I had control over, what would I do with it? And I did think of another thought is
Hmm.
the Alien franchise. I think could be a fun one.
Ooh,
Because
that is
I'm a
fun.
big fan of Alien franchise, and I'm actually kind of an apologist of like people hate like Prometheus and things. I don't think they're bad movies as much as I think they're bad Alien movies. um,
Yes, I agree. You're completely
um,
right. They're fine movies. It's just like where's the alien?
yeah, and people really don't like retconning lore and things like that.
Hmm.
I was a big fan of Romulus when that came out. Though people also didn't really like some of retconning of lore. I thought that movie was a blast. Alien Earth was decent for what it was, though I don't necessarily know if I like the fact that aliens getting to Earth. It kind of defeats the point of Ripley and her story.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't. So my point is, I don't think that I necessarily dislike what Alien franchise is doing as much as some people do, but I do think there's room for some fun stuff there. And my thought is like, have you seen Scavenger's Reign?
I haven't. No.
Okay, maybe that should be like a bonus for extra credit for this one because it's fun and it's like 12 episodes. But
Hmm.
it's essentially elevator pitch of it would be you like crash land on a foreign planet and very well thought out of alien biology. Everything in the planet is out there to kill you,
Hmm.
but it's very well
Okay.
thought out biology. So it's like believably alien biology, but also so inhuman that like it's just kind of that like horror of you man versus nature sort of thing, but
Hmm.
like taken to the extreme. And I think something with Alien of that could be really fun. Um, I know we already get. I think it's in actually Prometheus where we're on kind of that the alien planet, and you get that to an extent. But I think if you like turned that up to an 11 of just like not only are there xenomorphs here, but there is literally everything on this planet is built to kill me.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
could be a really fun time. Though I do think it's probably could be more of a series than a show
Hmm.
or than a movie rather, sorry. But you can make it work either way.
Yeah. I think so. That sounds. I like the idea of like. So it would be like aliens adapting to uh
I think you'd
like
still
killing
have the human
humans, or.
element. I think the humans would like again, and this is kind of what Prometheus tried to do to an extent. But humans
Hmm.
kind of land there and there's xenomorphs there, there's and then there's also just other nature. Like everything on that planet is not meant for humans. In the same
Yeah.
way, like naturally, the xenomorph biology, you have acid, blood, and spit and whatever. I guess it's more just blood. I guess the spit isn't acid, but something must have made you evolve that, right?
Hmm. I feel like.
What is the environment that made you evolve to be such a
Yeah.
hostile creature?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, like here is why aliens are aliens, right?
Right.
Like
Which is kind of just
here's
redoing Prometheus, but that's okay.
yeah, but yeah, but you could. I think
Yeah.
it would be more interesting what you're pitching. You find like little like there's like little mice things in the ground, and that's why they got to use the second mouth because it's like an anteater thing.
Right.
You know, that's it's like
And
uh,
those mice
you know,
also can kill you. Like
yeah.
even the quote unquote harmless animals are still so hostile to what a human is used to.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things like in an ant infested area. If you like drop a like a piece of food, they just all swarm to it right away.
Right.
Just like all these little chipmunks just being like, "Hey, I'll take it."
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it how why they climb, why they got that big ass head.
Right.
Like you could go in a lot of directions. What
Right.
are do you have
What made them
any?
become face huggers? Like what
Yeah. Do you have any like thoughts further on like what some of those origin like environment things could be?
I think it's just again, it's just so it's just would be such a foreign world.
Hmm.
Every flora, every fauna, the plants are out to get you. The animals are out to get you. It's just so hostile and in a very scavenger's reign way, which I know you haven't seen, but of just like it's a world not meant for me to be here.
Hmm.
Everything
Yeah.
about it.
I'm thinking I feel like predators plural
Okay.
had elements of this. But
Yeah.
that was mostly like in that predator like hunter kind of
Right.
environment, like very intentional. But uh not to the degree where it explains like the idea of it explaining aliens as a biology is really cool.
Right. And I think you
Uh
could make the argument of the fact that aliens have acid blood implies they need defense from something that can make them bleed.
Yes. Oh, dude. Like that's so it's so cool. What you're saying is so cool. Uh that's really interesting. I yeah, hey, Ridley Scott, give us the keys. We got it from here. Clearly, y'all want to be doing something with Alien.
Yeah.
You keep doing something with Alien.
And please
You
do,
just don't
because
know
like
what.
they're good.
Yeah,
But
we love it. But I think we got something here that,
yeah.
maybe
Or just like call it the scavengers reigns, guys, and make it work.
honestly, yeah. And then bring us on as writers.
Yeah. Or just
We're
put us
just
in the credits
idea
there.
people. We're in the corner and we're going, "Oh, dude, you know what would be cool? It's like if like the blood was like green because like there was like a colorblind monster that like recognized red but not green." And it's just like,
Right.
"Okay, for sure, dude.
Exactly.
It's like here's your minimum wage check." Uh
Exactly. um,
uh
so that was my precursor, not actually part of it. Just a I liked your question and was thinking more.
yeah.
But my real pop quiz question for you is, what is your favorite anime fight scenes?
Ooh. Favorite anime fight scene? Oh my god. See, I haven't seen too much anime
You haven't, though. I feel
overall.
like you have primarily seen shonen, where there are going to be fight scenes.
Let's see. I've seen a good amount of shonen too. Uh
I guess what are kind of the big ones you have watched?
I've watched a good amount. I've watched most of JoJo.
Okay,
Uh I've
some good
watched
fight scenes.
I've watched a good amount of My Hero.
Okay.
I've watched Dragon Ball Z.
Hmm.
I've seen a good amount. Chainsaw. I've seen One Punch Man. Like
Okay.
I've got some stuff I could pull from here, right?
Brotherhood.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood too. So I'm just gonna rattle some off, I guess. First one that came to my mind was Tien destroying Cell out of
Okay.
nowhere. Not even destroying, but just like I'm a character that has one move in a world
Yeah.
where like people are Superman cubed all around me. I can do one thing. Uh but damn if this guy doesn't know how and when to use his one thing. Like I think someone else like gets away or gets the opportunity to get away because TN's like triangle attack motherfucker. I am doing the little brother with the controller spamming the one easy move in Super Smash Brothers. And this huge, strong guy it's not even like hurting him necessarily. It's just keeping him down. I
Right.
loved that so much. And for a show that mostly is focused on, it's three kind of Saiyan characters, and everyone else kind of can just, you know, keep people busy until they get there. It was a really good moment of like, I know I'm weaker than the guy I'm fighting, but I can still bring something to this fight.
When you said Tien, I
That's
almost thought you were going to say original Tien versus Goku from Dragon Ball.
yes, which is
That's a
also
pretty
really
good
good.
one.
That's also really good. I guess
Um,
yeah.
I do think my
I mean,
favorite Dragon Ball fight is probably still Goku versus Frieza.
yeah. I mean, the whole thing happens in just 5 minutes, and it's so
Just
good. It
five
feels
minutes.
so long.
Right.
Uh, it is really good. You got the fucking worlds exploding around you.
Right.
With that, I mean, it's probably considered like one of the best parts of Dragon Ball as a whole,
Yeah,
right?
it's just so influential too, and just the fact of like he's like, no, I'm locked in. You're actually killing my friends, and this has
Hmm.
got to stop. That switch turn
Hmm.
does it for me.
Uh, let's see. I I just Dragon Ball has a lot of good fight scenes. I mean,
Yeah,
especially Z, it's all fight scenes.
it
Like
is.
that's what the show is. So of course, it's goaded. In a different angle, a lot of people hate this. But there's that scene where it's like some unnamed character is fighting. Here's that thing where I'm bad at names. It is Gohan's love interest,
Oh, Videl.
Videl, and gets her ass
Versus like
whooped.
Spopovich or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spopovich just
That is an
destroying.
amazing scene. Like some of the
I
most powerful stuff in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I think it's really, really, really
Evoking.
good. And it's
Yeah.
because it's good not because I'm shouting hell yeah. I'm shooting oh fucking no. It's like
Right.
this is real. This is like peak human versus it's Captain America versus the Hulk, but like
Yeah.
not even that. It's Black Widow versus the Hulk played out
Yeah.
like that. And it's just like this it goes exactly how you think it's going to and it's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
Uh so that's a different angle. Talking about the Full Metal angle, uh, the what's the guy who snaps and fire shows up? He kills
Roy
Lust at some
Mustang.
point,
That yeah.
uh, and that's just a very satisfying kill because I think it's the first time one of the seven deadly sins dies,
Yeah.
and
That
it's
that
just
is also
like
a very, evoking, scene that's just like makes you feel something. That's a good one. Almost
yeah,
not even a fight, which is
yeah.
part of the power of it.
But as far as like a classic, just good old fashioned uh anime fight scene that isn't about like the narrative side of it. It's just a cool fight. Finale of the JoJo arc where they're in the desert, where it's Dio
Okay.
versus
Part 30.
uh
Stardust
which
Crusaders.
Joe is he?
Right?
Yeah, End of
Josuke?
Stardust Crusaders.
No,
Uh
Jotaro.
yeah, Jotaro versus Dio. And it's
Yeah.
just I don't
The
know.
world and yeah. Star Platinum versus the world. Yeah.
It's just good. That whole episode is good. And they're like hopping around like Cairo, I think. And they're like fighting on top of buildings and in the streets. And it's just, it just works. It just works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You also got like the mental battles if you want to go into like a Death Note or something. You have if you want
Oh,
to stretch the what the concept of a battle of a fight is. You have like
yeah.
that sort of thing as well. Um,
There's yeah.
One Piece
Death Note's
has some
great.
good fights, but
Hmm.
isn't really about the fights as much.
No, no, it isn't. It really isn't. You get fights,
They're
but it
good. They're
is
great, but
yeah, but the conflicts kind of resolve outside of I beat you,
yeah,
or at least enough where I'm satisfied, right?
right.
Uh, yeah, One Piece sets itself apart in
Yeah,
many ways.
which is kind of
Uh,
the interesting. I'm sure there's some great ones in Pokemon. I mean, thinking
oh,
classics, you got like Magmar versus Charizard in Blaine's Gym. That's always a
yeah.
one of the best ones. There's some really good ones though. Um,
I actually my favorite might be Pikachu versus Onyx, and that's like
oh, and
early.
Brock originally. Okay.
Yeah, that's real early, but it is
Yeah.
so like that's the episode that made kids be like, yeah, I know I could make Pikachu into Raichu, but what if
Yeah.
I am emotionally scarring him and destroying his identity if I do so?
Yeah.
The anime was just like sorry Pokemon, I know this isn't what you want to do, but it's just too good of a story. It's like we just cooked
Yeah.
with this.
What
Yeah.
about Mew versus Mewtwo from the first movie, where they turn
Oh,
Ash to stone and
oh
everyone cries,
God.
including everyone watching it?
The only anime that I grew up with was the Pokemon anime.
Yeah.
Everything else I watched like high school, college, past that. And yeah,
Yeah.
like it's
Pokemon anime
just
and Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon were there for
mhm.
me before I knew anime was a word.
Yeah, no, it was just one of those shows people
Yeah, it was a
watched, right?
cartoon in the morning,
Yeah, it
a
was a
Saturday morning
cartoon.
cartoon, whatever it was. Yeah,
It was what was on for kids.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, it was just good. I forgot about
Um,
Yu-Gi-Oh too.
yeah.
There's
Digimon had
I
some great
like
stuff too.
I didn't see Digimon, but I've heard good things. I've heard good things. If anime is known for anything, it is known for the fight scenes, right?
Shonen anime,
Uh,
right? Which is, I think, kind
Shonen
of the
for sure.
sliver, the sliver that you've lived in.
I will go anime as a whole. If you ask a random person on the street what they think
Yes.
of anime to be, they will probably be like, "That's where like the guy with the spiky hair fights the other guy with the spiky hair, right?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "You're not wrong."
Which is
That
just
is
kind
a
of the
lot of it.
nature of shonen being the you know picture
But what?
of
Yeah,
anime. It's the golden child a little bit. Um,
the golden child for sure. At least it's good at it. When it's good at it. Uh,
um,
ch-
there's some
uh,
stuff in
com-
like Yu Yu Hakusho you would love.
mhm.
Some fights.
I like Chainsaw Man was fun. Nothing really stands out.
Chainsaw Man
It's more
is
the
very good. Chainsaw
it's more the
Man,
mhm,
while the anime I think is incredible. What's his name? Fujimoto.
mhm.
He is one of the best panelers I've seen
Oh,
in a long time. So
okay.
just by the nature of not seeing his panels, he has very dynamic panel layouts and things like that. You just naturally lose something a little bit, um, which isn't to the fault of the anime. The anime is still great.
I think the anime just has really good animation, so I think you just
Yeah,
gotta treat it as like two different experiences.
absolutely.
I can understand that perspective though, because I was just about to say that like I'm the whole time I'm watching a fight in Chainsaw Man, it's nothing narrative or like even caring about the characters. I'm just like people who worked on this cooked. It's like this is
Did you
just
watch the
beautiful.
Reze movie?
I've just watched the first season.
Okay.
Same
Reze
with One
movie,
Punch Man.
I think that's kind of the part where the emotional side and like the I start caring a little bit more about some of the characters and some of those threads. So
Hmm.
that was very good. That movie came out not too long ago.
We've touched on another topic that I could literally sit here and talk for the rest of the podcast on.
Yeah,
Uh, to wrap it up of all the things we named, if I'm being honest, the Pokemon Onyx Pikachu thing is the one that affects me the most. Uh,
okay.
and I don't think any of the other ones are better written than that scene. So I'll go with
Okay.
that one.
But if we rapid fire expand it out of anime to
Hmm.
favorite fight scenes, just in film,
Ooh,
and I don't want us to spend too much time because this could also be the whole episode.
yeah. It's 100% could be the whole episode. End of Enter the Dragon, all of
Yeah,
John Wick.
I'm a
Uh,
sucker for like enclosed space fights. So thinking like Daredevil does it very well. Old
oh,
Boy, right? Old
yeah.
Boy. Some of those fights, like if you're in an enclosed space and fighting, like yeah, I'm in. Um,
The Daredevil fight scene is what made me realize that the Marvel movies could be doing better.
yeah,
It's like kind of like everyone was like, yeah, Marvel's fun. We all just saw Avengers. I think like Guardians or like Winter Soldier was like coming out or it came out, and everyone's like, oh, and then go watch Daredevil. It's a TV show for like a different angle, and everyone's like, holy shit!
yeah.
It's like this is it just it was so good. Uh,
You've seen Old Boy? Yeah, you've got it, right?
I've seen Old Boy. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one too. The Raid, if you've ever seen The Raid, is
Yeah.
John Wick, but even better.
Right.
That's a foreign film, but a must watch if you like a fight
Yeah.
scene. A must
Have you
watch.
seen
And The
all of
Raid,
the Vengeance trilogy? Old Boy's the middle movie.
I haven't. I've only seen Old
I've
Boy, I
only seen
think, and
Old Boy as well.
even then, I've only when I saw Old Boy, I was like dog sitting and like trying to like keep a dog from like shitting all over my friend's carpet. And
Yeah.
so like I didn't put together as much as I wanted to. So
Okay.
I could only speak on Old
Maybe
Boy
that
so
should
much.
be
Is there
a
like
future assignment for us both. But it's a trilogy. They're not like
mhm.
directly tied, but like generally the concept of vengeance and revenge is kind of the through narrative.
What's the fight scenes like in Old Boy?
Um, so there's a hallway fight scene, like it's a corridor fight scene. That's the one I'm
Mhm.
picturing. That's kind of again, that's sort of like it's 20
You mentioned
people,
it together with
effectively taking
Daredevil.
out
So
exactly.
I
That's
assume.
kind of yeah. It's that corridor fight scene. Um, that's the one I'm thinking of. Here I can
Interesting.
find it.
Going on the size of an anime fight, I do like at the end of Infinity War where they're fighting Thanos. It's pretty good because there's a lot of back and forth and
Yeah.
like believable tension built up over all those movies. Uh,
Yeah, absolutely.
uh, Trying to think, DC side of things, nothing standing out.
No,
Uh,
not
yeah.
really.
Uh, and Overall, Marvel's just not known for its fight scenes. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there, man.
There's a lot of good
Do
stuff.
you call Sergio Leone like standoffs? Is that a fight scene? Because you could just say the end of Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but I don't know if
Yeah, I
that
mean,
counts. If How much
why
do we want
not?
to stretch this?
Right.
Yeah. Uh, that's funny. I uh Also any Death Note style, not a fight scene, but a fight scene stuff, because we do have the discombobulate scene from Sherlock Holmes, which is really good.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff.
There's yeah, a lot of good action out there.
I sent you on
Uh,
Discord the corridor fight scene for you to watch at some point.
Good. Let's pause and just watch that for a minute.
Just describe it as you're watching.
Alternatively, we could move on to our
Yeah,
first
we should
assignment.
probably move on.
We should probably go. Knowing that it was your shit, my gift to you was that my assignment was, and there it is. And my
Good for you.
assignment was One Piece because I knew that you would never do One Piece in a way that you were happy with, because you would be like, this is too much of a time commitment to put on Tommy. As much as it is perfect for the show. So I was like, I will bite the bullet and I'm gonna say I will watch the entire first chapter.
East Blue.
East Blue. I will watch all of East Blue. So what we are reviewing today is East Blue. If you are one of those people listening who's like, I do not know a thing about One Piece, and it's not for me. That is kind of where I went to. So you'll still get something out of this, because I'm gonna talk from that perspective. Not necessarily that I didn't think that it was for me. I thought it was too daunting for me, right?
That's a lot of people's thought, and
Yeah,
yeah, sometimes you just gotta begin by beginning, and
yeah. And it's yes, exactly. And it's not even to me about seeing it through to the end. This is absolutely one of those it's the journey, not the destination shows. And you just get a lot out of not even like plot reveals, just taking in the show for what it is.
Absolutely. I
Uh
mean, Luffy doesn't worry about the how he's going to
yeah,
become king of the pirates. He just knows he's going to be king of the pirates. That's how you got to approach the show.
yeah,
I don't know how I'm going to
exactly.
catch up. I don't know when. I'm going to do it. It's going to
Yeah.
happen.
You walk into it the same way Luffy walks into fighting everything, doing everything, which is just I'm just gonna do it.
Yep.
And here I am. 61 episodes is a lot. I don't think I'm gonna be suggesting I watch 60 episodes of anything on this podcast again. But this is something I've wanted to do outside of this podcast for a while. It's like I just want to get a taste of One Piece,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like this arc kind of introduces what I assume are like the five core characters, or at least five very important characters.
The crew
There's
is going
one
to continue
dog
to
guy
grow.
that I've seen pictures of, and outside of him, like maybe we've seen the main people. Do you
The crew's
agree?
going to grow, continue to
Sure.
grow. So we're going to get in the next saga. I think you add 2 to 3 characters to the crew. I say 2 to 3 because one, the Straw Hat Nakama, as it's referred to, which is just kind of the family, those family bonds, friendship. That's the level of family. The Nakama extends beyond just the main crew. You know,
Okay, sure.
you have members of that family that stay behind, and you have members of that family that continue on with you or continue their own journey.
Hmm.
But I think you add at least two to the crew there, and then two more. Not in the next saga, Skypiea. You don't add any more permanent ones, but eventually you get two more. Then a while later, you get one more permanent.
Hmm. I did pull up the Wikipedia out of curiosity, right? Because
Okay.
who knows? I'm seeing six more people. Does that sound right to you? Six more pirates, at least, not allies or companions.
Describe the pirates.
I'm seeing mostly humanoid.
Okay.
Some of them. Do you want me to get more specific on a couple of them? Like, are we playing what's that game where you flip the people
20
down?
questions. Or no, guess who?
Guess who? Anime Guess Who would be so fun.
Yeah.
They have yellow hair. Nothing goes down. Uh, let's see. Yeah, okay. I could just name them off. What the wiki says are the Straw Hat Pirates, and you could tell me
Okay.
if you agree or disagree. So we've
Okay.
got Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, right?
Yep.
Tony, Chopper,
Yeah,
Nico,
that's their
Robin.
doctor.
Their
Their
doctors, Tony,
archaeologist.
Chopper.
Yep.
What's Nico, Robin?
Archaeologist.
Sure, every pirate ship needs an archaeologist.
You did.
Uh, Frankie.
Frankie's their shipwright.
Oh, cool. Brooke.
Brooke is their musician.
Oh, they say that as a joke,
Yeah, Luffy's
seemingly
like,
early
our
on.
next one is a
We need a
musician.
musician. Every pirate ship needs a musician. That's funny. Jinbei, if I'm saying that correct.
Jinbei is helmsman, I think is the title.
So he uh drives the ship. What's it called? He sails it. I guess they all
What is
sail it.
a helmsman? Yes, steering the ship. The
Hmm.
Nami's the navigator, right? But
Yeah, but he
Jinbei
steers.
is a well, I guess do you want me to say things more details or no?
We, I'm fine with this. Yeah, I feel like this show isn't. You could tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
From what I understand, this is a take it as you go show, and so as far as that goes, spoilers aren't
Yeah.
like the thing to worry about, right?
Yeah. I am also generally of the mindset that while knowing a spoiler or a twist might remove something from a situation, it's never going to turn a good to a bad to me. um,
Yeah. I think
but yeah,
it's genre specific to me. Mystery is a huge deal. Horror, it can be a huge deal.
yeah,
It's not a big deal if it's a drama, or yeah, usually. Unless it's a huge plot point, which is kind of
yeah.
never mind. Probably exactly what they're going for. With an
But
adventure story like this, you lose reveal. I'm fine with it.
yeah,
I think with this specific story, it's fine. So what's Jinbei's
Jinbei
deal?
is a fishman, so like
Okay.
Arlong, he's a
Ooh,
fishman.
cool.
Uh, Frankie is like a cyborg.
Okay. Cool.
Um, Brooke is a skeleton man.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Chopper is a reindeer, the human fruit. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
And then the last one we've got here is Nefertari, Vivi.
Vivi is one of those that are a member that's not a member of the direct crew, but a
Mm,
member of the larger family. And I think there's more than just Vivi for that.
yeah, interesting. Uh, it says she's a main member. Uh, so I guess the wiki at least thinks that
Yeah.
she's a level higher than say Zeus or Karu.
Okay. Karu is a think like Chocobo. It's a Chocobo
Okay.
that's Vivi's partner, actually. Zeus is a like sentient cloud.
Hmm. Great. I see little like lineups of each of them, so
Yeah.
I get a visual here. I may just keep going. When does Brooke show up? Because
Thriller
this
Bark.
guy's interesting. Okay. I'm seeing episode 337. So I was about to see I may just go until Brooke shows up, but I don't know.
Thriller Bark, you're about to hit some of my favorite stuff right after
Mm,
that.
okay. After that. So 350 episodes from now. 300 episodes from now, 350 episodes total. Great. Do we want to talk about the elephant in the room, which is the absolute size, the thickness of One Piece? I want to hear your thoughts on how that relates to One Piece and the conversation around it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's people say about so many things, but it's about the journey, not the destination. Like I'm of the mindset I don't really even care how it ends. Right? It's
Mm,
about I mean, it came out in 97, right? So it grew up with us. Pretty much
mhm.
exactly, right? Um and it's grown with us just in the same way, and I think that's partially what makes it so special. I think if it did come out and you binge watched, say it ends at episode 2000. If you're like, all right, in 3 months, I'm just going to watch 2000 episodes, I almost think you lose something out of that. I think experiencing the journey, living with the characters, I think is part of the enjoyment. And I think that's something that can only uniquely be done in something so long.
Interesting. I've said before that I feel that when you have TV shows, you get a unique opportunity to uh, explore characters in their little moments, and just understand them at like every place in their life that they live at, just because there's so much of them.
Yeah.
You understand like the little things, right? Same with video games, like RPGs done well.
Right.
Uh, I can only imagine how true that is for like Luffy or Zoro or Nami. Like at this point, it's got to be crazy.
Yeah, it's One Piece is one of those things. I think a critique that could be made is it is so long, but there isn't necessarily a whole lot of character development, so to speak, as far as like Luffy's kind of the same person. He's pretty locked in to his
I believe
morals
that.
and things like that. He progresses in strength, but he doesn't have like dramatic character arcs changing his personality. But I think there's a difference to me as a concept between character development and character progression.
Mm.
You
Speak
know,
more on that.
I think you don't need dramatic arcs to progress as a character. You
Mm.
can still be subtly learning from your mistakes and not making the same things and still becoming a better person without dramatically changing. And I think that's kind of a subtlety that is hard to pick up on for a lot of just general audiences.
Because the story has to progress.
Right.
The story has to have an arc. But the character of Luffy, kind of like the character of Goku, in my opinion,
Yeah.
doesn't emotionally or like mentally like make any changes to his approach to anything, at least from what I've seen. Uh, and it's just kind of he gets stronger, I'm sure, because it's a
Yeah,
shonen.
absolutely.
Uh, but outside of that, like the thing that makes him someone everyone wants to rally behind is because he is so certain of his goal and such a good, solid person from go. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing
and
to change about Luffy.
he has that such a core morals that I think are instilled by Shanks and things originally growing up with some of the strongest pirates there was.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
he there's some core components to Luffy that I think sets him apart to me and makes him really special as a character.
Yeah.
Is one, he trusts actions, not words. Right? He doesn't care what
Hmm.
people say about Zoro, and then he sees
Yeah.
him eat the food from the ground that the person brought him. He's like, all right,
Yeah.
that's my crew. He doesn't care what people say about Sanji until he sees him feeding Jin or whatever his name is,
Hmm.
that went hungry. He's like, all right, that's my. You know, he doesn't care what people say about Nami. They say she stole your ship. She said whatever. It's like, no, I've seen her. I know
It
who
even
she
goes
is.
in the other direction for Nami because someone's about to give like the lore drop on like this is why Nami is like
Oh yeah,
rationalizing her actions, and he just walks away. He's like, I
yeah,
don't
which I
care.
love. He's like, yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter. I don't care what you say. I see what happened, and I think that's
yeah.
so strong of a like moral code to me.
Hmm.
Um,
I completely agree.
Another thing that sets Luffy apart to me is he's one of the rare protagonists that has no issue with receiving help.
Oh, interesting.
He's he knows he's not a navigator. He knows he's not a chef. Doesn't matter. I'll find him.
Hmm.
He doesn't need to be that guy. He has his friends. And you know the power of friendship's a common thing, but I think it's done differently. You know, um,
Yeah, that
I
is
think
fair.
that's yeah.
Well, it's
Um,
such an individualistic thing that stories can be sometimes, right?
right.
That's not Luffy at all. He's like, I
Especially when
want
you're the most
every pirate
powerful.
needs a crew, right?
Right. Especially when you're the most powerful one on your crew and things like that. It to still be like, all right, I need them is
Hmm.
something that's kind of special and makes everyone have their kind of unique impacts and things like that. Um,
Yeah.
I
No, you're
also love
completely
that
right.
Luffy's treasure is kind of a core thing to One Piece, as you'd imagine, right? But
Hmm.
everyone has their own treasure. You know, Nami likes treasure itself, but that treasure is also to find freedom and be able to do that. You know, Zoro has his treasures of his swords, but those swords are his memories and his, you know, desires to become some of the best for some of the people he's lost. And you know, Sanji wants to make sure no one starves again. You know, that's his treasure. Food is his treasure because of that. Luffy's treasure is freedom. He wants to be the king of the pirates. King of the pirates to him doesn't mean he's the richest. Doesn't necessarily even mean he's the most powerful. It means he's the most free. And I think that's really interesting to me.
Mm. Yeah. When you put it like that, it's just like he's really I was just like this is like Goku like reduced down to his corest elements, right?
Right.
Is really what I felt about this. It's like uh though Goku is a lot more individualistic, just not to his
Yeah.
faults, just kind of like
Goku
as much
Goku
as
has a
anyone
love for
is.
fights. I
Yeah.
don't know if Luffy necessarily has a love for fights. He likes to fight, and that's
Yeah.
when he's in his goofy modes.
Yeah.
Um,
It's so it's different, but
but he
it's
doesn't
a
live for fighting. I don't
but
think in the
like
same way Goku
I
does.
100%. I think mostly like the like I speak through actions and I just go
Right.
in. This. I mean, it's probably just a shonen protagonist thing in general, which is that like I'm gonna be the guy who takes action.
Right.
And it's second nature to me. And the second I can't be that person, then I'm going to like get stronger until I do. Like that's every
Right.
shonen protagonist. But I think it's when Luffy is such a is it Luffy? Luffy? I'm gonna try to say
Luffy.
it right. Luffy. Okay.
Luffy.
Uh, when Luffy is doing something, uh, it is like for freedom. You're completely right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Uh,
It's for his friends as well. I mean, I think he also and I didn't even necessarily realize it at the time, but a lot of my D&D characters that you've DM'd for me
mhm.
are very Luffy coded in the sense that they're kind of dumb, but they're emotionally intelligent.
Yes.
Luffy
Yes,
is one of the
absolute.
most emotionally intelligent characters in One Piece.
Yeah. It's
But
by
he's also
creating
so
such a
dumb.
100% by creating such a simple character, you get to have these moments where when he does speak, or he, like it's so powerful, right? Because it's just like he's speaking to you and he's saying this to you because he thinks it's the most important thing to do and is the helpful thing to you. It's like
Right,
never interrupted by like self interest, right?
right. Like even
Just
like the
because,
Sanji stuff. He's like, all right, I'm not. You've got to make your decision. You know, he's
Hmm.
like, all right, see ya. I know you'll be here for us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna make you do this. It's like I'm not gonna make him do it. It has to be his decision. It's just so he's just
Yeah.
such a stand-up dude. What a great guy. Uh, but the other pirates are also pretty good. I Usopp is a strong character. He's the one, but he's like the comedy relief.
He is.
So like I
He
don't
has his
feel
moments,
I don't
but
feel
yeah,
too much need to talk about him. He's you know he's kind of the lighter guy. He's kind of the coward, but he it's instinct that he's constantly fighting against, which I think is
right.
cool.
Which I
Uh,
do think makes sense. The bravest you can be is if you're scared. If you're
yeah,
not afraid, you're not being brave. You're just
yeah,
acting.
yeah. He's also a liar. And I think it's in character for someone like that to be shooting from far away, right?
Yeah.
Like I've gotten so good at like sneaking up and shooting from like far away because I'm just like being up an upfront person is not me, right?
Right. And I think
So
his story is an interesting twist to me on The Boy Who Cries Wolf
mm,
because
speak more of that, yeah.
he every day runs through the town and say pirates are coming, and
Hmm.
everyone knows it's not. And then pirates are there,
Hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
it's not The Boy Who Cries Wolf that then the pirates kill everyone, and it's oh you it's a bad thing that you said this every time because now we didn't know. It's almost the
Hmm.
opposite. Everyone knows him, so they know him yelling pirates are coming means they're safe. The second
Hmm.
he doesn't do that means we're not safe, whatever. And that's kind of why that his crew continuing that I think is fun. It's like, all right, we're still safe. You know, it's not Usopp anymore, but we're still safe because people are still saying the lie, the lie that
Yeah.
everyone knows is a lie. I think it's an
Yeah, it's
interesting
sweet.
twist on that story.
I like it a lot. I think also Boy Who Cries Wolf is just like many like folk tales.
Yeah,
Just kind of like a really bitter story. So I do
right.
prefer this. Um,
Um,
it's it is nice. And your comedy relief character, they can be like well written too and have like principles too. Like everything about Usopp makes sense. Like it's just a tight character. Uh I think I don't know. Zoro is a really good character. He's just kind of like who ends up being a lot of protagonists from my
yeah,
perspective in anime is like the like I want to be the strongest and like I'm aloof and like I don't care who's in my way
yeah,
and like that kind of energy um exists at the forefront of a lot of stories in anime from my
right.
perspective. I think him being like yin and yang with Luffy, God, uh,
It's
is really
engagement bait.
interesting
Maybe we'll
because
get
they
a whole bunch of
both,
comments.
yeah, 100%. It is the fact that Luffy is like such this positive like guy, and like Zoro is kind of very individualistic on the other side. Not to a fault. It's just who he is. Uh,
Right.
it's everything he wants is like his own personal growth, and like it's about these, as you said, like these are my memories, this is my past, and it's what propels me forward. It's all his story. uh I also
Growing up,
think
Zoro was my favorite character. I think
mhm,
as an adult, I appreciate Luffy more than as a kid, but as a kid, Zoro's just so cool.
yeah, he's the coolest guy. Also I'm only gonna say this once, and it's not even like a thirst thing. He's so hot, it's kind of
Yeah.
insane. He's the hottest character I've seen in anime, and he gets to be that.
Yeah.
And now that I've said that, it can just be out there, and we don't have to triple down on that as a conversation. But every time he was on screen, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
It's if especially if you watch the dub and you get that voice.
Yeah. He
Good
does have
job,
a
that
good
guy.
voice.
Uh, the three sword thing is so goofy.
It is
But
so
I
goofy, but
love it.
so serious that you love it.
it's played, but because it's Zoro, he's so cool that you're just like, this makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
He's like,
It
oh
just
yeah,
makes sense.
obviously you have to lift weights with your mouth. Two was not enough.
Yeah, obviously.
And I love
Uh,
that they do what's his name? Hachi,
mhm.
the octopus man, and he's like, well, I've got six. And you're like, well,
Yeah,
obviously that's stupid. And you're like,
yeah,
three is cool though.
yeah. 100%. You're 100% right. I was like, wow, this octopus guy's got six swords. What an idiot. It's like,
Yeah.
let's get Zoro in here. He has the appropriate amount of swords.
Yeah.
Like literally is what I was thinking watching that.
Yeah.
So like let's
I
get a
love it.
bit let's show this guy that we could be level-headed about this,
Yeah.
and we could do things a bit more tactically with a third
Yeah.
sword. I also I think the arc right after that we see him like sword shopping, which is just like,
Yeah.
yeah, he probably has to
We
do
get the
that a
cursed
lot.
sword. Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't remember too. Did curse sword stuff happen in that arc? Nothing I remember, right?
Just that sword. I mean, you have some of a really cool Zoro moment. He's got some of the most aura of any character, where he's
Yes.
just like, well, toss it in the air, let's see what happens.
Hmm.
It's a
Yep,
cursed sword. Well, is my
that
luck
was cool.
stronger?
That was cool. I like that too.
um,
Uh,
Zoro's
so
got
Zoro.
some great aura moments. I guess speaking of Thriller Bark with Brooke, that's
Hmm.
one of my favorite Zoro moments. Is the end of that arc.
Hmm. Oh,
So
remind me. What does he do?
you haven't gotten to Thriller Bark, but
Oh, okay. I
um,
got to I heard filler arc.
oh,
Uh,
Thriller
so I'm
Bark.
like,
No,
I don't remember
Brooks
anyone doing
introduction.
anything that really interested me in the filler arc.
Yeah.
But um,
Um,
Sanji,
Some of Usopp's favorite moments is Water 7. He
Water
has,
7.
which is Water 7, Enos Lobby, I guess post Enos Lobby, Thriller Bark, but maybe I'm missing one in the middle there.
The funniest part about talking to someone who's really into One Piece is them just naming arcs at you that you have no
Yeah,
context for.
yeah.
Do not stop. It is it gives me life. Uh, I think I'm going to forget that Syrup Town was an arc I
Syrup
watched in like
Village.
1 week. See,
Yeah.
there you go.
Um, you get the Mary, which honestly is more than Vivi. The ship is is a straw hat to me.
Hmm. I can see that. I can see that. It's got character. It's fun.
It does have character, and you see it. It'll take damage, and
Hmm.
they'll have to fix it up, and they'll have those moments that I think you could easily not do, but you
Yeah.
do, and I think that gives it its own personality and characters that care about it and things like that.
Yeah. Those first couple arcs were really interesting. It was just kind of like Luffy's just got someone to fight.
Yeah,
He's gonna save Zoro, which is super cool. That's kind of the big plot thing that happens there. But Syrup Town's the first time where it's just like, okay, we now here's a story we want to tell in this setting, right?
yeah, and I
Uh,
think it's interesting. That's the first time. I mean, um, Romance Dawn, the very intro, and then with Zoro, you
mhm.
get a lot of world building of like,
Yeah,
oh, the
yeah.
Marines aren't necessarily good, things like that. You get a lot of that building that's necessary. I do agree. There's not as much
It's
like deep stuff because you got to build up
it's
to
One
that.
Piece, but it's not a
Yeah,
story in One Piece, right?
yeah. You get a little bit. You get a expanding of the world with like Buggy in
Hmm.
Orange Town. That's you're like, oh, there's more devil fruits. They can be a lot of different
Sure,
things.
sure.
Um, you get some fun, like Chow Chow the dog and things like that. You get some strong moments, powerful moments.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, still nothing that wows you other than just like Buggy's a blast and things like that, right?
yeah, yeah.
Syrup Village, while some people's I think least favorite part of East Blue, I do think starts to have those sprinkles of something more. It's the first time like Luffy's ideology is challenged by something. So like Kuro is the antithesis of what a pirate should be to Luffy. He's like,
Mhm.
my crew are pawns. I don't care. I'm using them. I'm getting out. I'm getting rich. It doesn't matter who they are, what they are. They're pawns to
Yeah.
me. And that's like the antithesis of Luffy. So like once he hears that, he's like, all right, bye. um,
Hmm. Yeah, it's the I think really the weakest part of that is that it just feels slow.
yeah,
Uh which we can get more into later. Because I want that sentence to be its own conversation. But
yeah,
uh it's there's interesting stuff happening in it. And uh I don't know. I think I right now in this story I like Usopp because he's kind of at least framed as the least interesting or not
yeah,
least interesting, least capable
right.
of the group. And that's just, we like to see our characters struggle. Uh uh the one right after that that was that
Baratier, right?
Baratia. Yeah. Oh, that was fun. I love cooking. So my heart beats with Sanji. We didn't really get to talk to him yet. He to me is uh what's it called? He is a Cowboy Bebop character that
Yeah,
somehow ended up in this show. I say that not having seen anything more than an episode of Cowboy Bebop, but I just fully believe that he's like
you
smoking a
should watch Cowboy
cigarette, he's
Bebop.
wearing a
You would love
suit.
Cowboy Bebop.
I I know I would. I know I would.
Cowboy Bebop
It's
is like the jazz of anime, if that'll
it's
sell you on it.
everything I've ever heard about that show is just selling me harder on it, especially if what I've heard includes the theme song. Uh,
Yes, Tank is so
it
good.
this guy's just smoking cigarettes, like leaning back on walls, arms folded in a
Mhm.
full suit. He doesn't even fight with his hands. He fights
No,
just by kicking.
no,
What?
hands are. He's a chef. Hands are for cooking. He's not gonna
Yeah,
damage those fighting.
exactly. When like that's what sold me on the character is when he says like, no, it's like I'm not gonna dirty my hands. That's for cooking. I'm like, and it's like that's why he's like this tall character. It's because it's all feet. I'm like, oh, that's so fucking good.
Yeah,
So like
and makes that
anytime.
Zeph moment at the end where Zeph punches him so powerful because Zeph is
Mhm,
that same way, and
yeah.
Zeph punches him.
Mhm,
He says, "No, you. This is how much I care about you. Is I'm going to punch you. I'm going to use my hands to hit you."
mhm,
Um,
yeah.
so good
It's so
without
good.
words. It's a very much a show don't tell of some of those
Yes.
things that are so good.
It's just kind of a great, like they'll have what something I want from a lot more shows like this, especially ones that have 20 minutes. Um whole episodes that are going back just exploring like the origins of people.
Oh,
And
and
Sanj
everyone in One Piece has a tragic backstory.
Yeah, yeah. And he's just starving on an island with this pirate. And
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know. It
And you're like, oh yeah,
solidif
this dude isn't the sort of guy that he doesn't matter who you are, he's gonna feed you. He
yeah.
doesn't care that you're a pirate and that you probably will come back and try to whatever him. He's gonna feed you. You're not gonna starve.
It actually was really powerful. Everyone being like, this guy's a straight up murderer. He's like one of the worst people ever. And he's just doesn't even say anything to any of them. He's just makes food, gives it to him.
Yeah.
He comes back. He beats people up. People get
And
hurt.
Luffy sees that and he's like, yep, that's my chef.
Yeah. And honestly, I was like, you know, it's like and then his like mentor is like, if you've ever been starving to like that level, you would understand. And I'm like, that's incredible. Like that,
Such a
like
fun reveal too. He's got the big bag and Sanji's like, why does that guy get to have so much food, whatever? And it's such a fun way to do it too.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, the big bag, and then it's uh
Like gold
nothing
or
in it, right?
whatever.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gold. That's fun. Uh so that was a great arc. Uh
Yep.
but
It gets to show you the horrors of the Grand Line. It gets to show you Mihawk, who is
mhm.
also complete aura.
Yes, 100%. It's like we're gonna have someone who out auras Zoro.
Yeah.
Only for now. Only for now,
And
because I'm
Zoro, you
sure.
have such a strong like I'm a swordsman. I'm not turning my back to you.
Mhm.
You strike me down here.
This is the one where the guy's on the boat and like Solo slices it in half just because it was in his way,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Is that?
that's Mihawk.
It's just like, yeah, you thought Zoro was the big most aura you've ever
Yeah,
seen from a character. It's like now you've got this guy. It's
yeah.
like everything
So,
Zoro. It's Zoro's an individualistic character. This is who he's aspiring to be, right?
yeah. And we're
At
like,
least
oh,
in
Zoro's gotta be so tough, right? He's beating up all these guys, and then you get this guy that shows up and he's like, "Let me find this toothpick, and I'm gonna handedly beat you with." And you're like, "Oh, all right."
so fun. Yeah, it's just this whole just to talk bigger, this whole arc just sets up the show so fucking well. Not whole arc, the chapter, East Blue. It's just like
Yes.
here is my pitch for anyone who has watched none of One Piece. Watch what I watched. Maybe not that filler arc. Maybe you get to episode 45, something like
My
that.
my thoughts is go at least do Arlong Park. If you're
Hmm.
not sold by Arlong Park, which we haven't even talked about yet,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be. You're not. It's not gonna be for you, and that's okay. But if
I
if Arlong Park is making you feel something, keep going.
I think I agree. Because everything that happens, and we can just kind of dismiss this into its own little conversation. Everything that happens after Arlong Park is just kind of more One Piece story, that
Yeah,
works as well as the rest of One Piece,
yeah. It kind of
does.
builds up. Arlong Park's the climax, and you have a little bit of following action before you
Mhm.
start the next larger arc.
Uh, yeah, it's fine. But then yeah, we might as well talk about Arlong Park. And I also just want to quickly preface this as saying that Nami is my favorite character.
Oh yeah,
She is like so like everyone here. She is like so tightly written and so like true to who she is. But I think of all of the tragic backstories, hers is the one that I believe the most,
yeah.
that worked the best, at least in the anime. Uh, so strong.
Some of
And
that
also,
scene is
mhm,
anime added. I think
really,
that episode 37 scene.
it's just really good. That's her tragic backstory scene we're talking about. And it's like, it's just like, of all the people, of the pirates, Nami is like the most morally questionable, right?
Right,
Like she doesn't, at least at this point, who knows what happens in the future, she doesn't do things because it's the right thing to do. She
right,
first does things for self-interest and money. Maybe there's an aspect of it where the self-interest in money was for, up until this point, uh you know her hometown, her people, right?
right.
But there's still a selfishness in that. uh
Yes.
the this whole story, she is re like it's a reveal that she's been moral the whole time, right? It's like moral asterisk, she's
Yeah.
been doing this in the right the whole time, right?
Right.
Even
And
that
no one but Luffy believes that until then. Luffy's fully like, no, it's Nami. Of course
it's
she's
Nami. We know
right,
Nami, she's great.
right.
uh so good.
And everyone
And
else, including like the viewer, is like, "Are you sure though? She is kind of like stealing your stuff." Like,
but there's another aspect of it where Arlong Park for Nami is such a desperate reveal, because
yeah,
like all of us see this shark guy, Arlong, and we're like, there's this guy's literally a shark.
right,
That he is literally a shark. There is no way he is honoring this deal. There's zero possible way he's honoring this deal. Like, but Nami is like has dedicated her life around the deal, uh
right.
out of
It's all she
like
could
a
believe in.
yeah.
You had to, otherwise, what was the point?
And there's this beautiful thing the anime does that maybe is from the manga, where like her like there's a cuts to a butterfly escaping from a web. And I'm
Right.
like, look at you guys. Look at
Right,
you
like that's
guys
art.
with the visual storytelling here. Arlong Park is so fucking good. It is so good. It's he is Arlong is the most despicable. I think he's built up to be this too. He is the
Yeah.
most despicable villain they've had so far. Like there's selfishness, and there's like, like bad people that they fought. But there's a cruelty to Arlong. And not only Arlong, but like the army, the marine guy,
Yeah.
who's just like, I'm
So
taking
who's
all
a
of your
rat?
money. Yeah, full an actual rat. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck that guy.
Unlike unlike our favorite rats, he is not part of the club.
No, he is not part of the club. We do not put this rat on our head. We do not want
No.
to be a marine because of this rat.
Um
It's just it.
yeah, and you could go the direction of Arlong being sympathetic. I mean, there's more to Fishman that, backstory and things like that, and there's,
Mhm.
racism allegories and things like that.
Sure.
But he goes like, all right, screw all of humanity. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Which is
it's
where
the wrong
you cross that line.
conclusion, right? And there is something to be said about like how like he's also the first villain. Oh, I don't know about the Syrup Town guy. I'm having trouble remembering, but
Sure.
he's got the tragic backstory in there too. Just
Right.
like uh all of the pirates. So
Right.
maybe that's what does that a little bit. It just fleshes him out more. It just makes it so you want him to go down more. I don't know.
Yeah, it's powerful. That episode 37, that's where Nami asks for help. And she breaks
Mhm.
down, and Luffy puts the hat on. Is like, I don't care your backstory. Let me I put the hat on. And you've got that like moment of aura where he walks away, and the whole crew's just like standing there, like, all right, let's go. That's such a cool scene. That's
So
like,
great. Let's
of
go.
all the things we've watched, that's like the first like A plus plus. That's the first like 100%.
Yeah.
For me.
It's so good. They're like, let's go, and they're just like, right, and they get up and they walk. It's
Yeah.
so fucking solid. Uh, yeah, yeah. That's it. That definitely does get an A plus. That scene. Um, what a solid episode overall. And they kind of get their ass
Zoro's like
whooped.
dying from getting slashed still.
Yeah.
Luffy gets like, he doesn't take it seriously at first, and he gets
Hmm.
like in concrete or whatever.
Yeah. Uh, and like, I don't know. You always know that's the problem with fight scenes is you always know that your guy's gonna win in a story like this,
Yeah,
but believable losses of fights like
yeah,
towards the end there too. Like I one thing that really stuck out to me was like the whole like Sanji fight where it's like about depth. I thought was really
yeah,
interesting. That was a standout.
yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Usopp gets
Uh,
to get a W.
yeah. Go Usopp. Also kind of does have another like cowardly, no, never mind, I can't be that moment,
Yeah.
which is great. Love to see that.
Um, and we're at an interesting point of One Piece of Luffy loses some, but he still to this point hasn't really had to take any threat seriously.
Yeah.
Even Arlong, he's like, "Oh, I'll bite you with your teeth." He's
Hmm.
still kind of being goofy, um, and I think that is what makes way down the line when things get real,
Hmm.
even that more powerful. Um, jumping way ahead
Sure.
of like
How many
literally
hundreds of
everyone Luffy
episodes
faces.
ahead?
Yeah, he hasn't had to take anything seriously. There hasn't been a Mihawk moment for Luffy, right?
Hmm.
um,
Interesting. Well, then that does sound like character growth to me.
to an
Uh,
extent, yeah.
yeah. Uh, I agree. Like as he has to take Arlong more seriously, but he
It's
it's
not
it's
until he
goofy.
sees the map charting room and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you locked her in this prison.
Hmm.
I'm destroying this whole thing," and you're going down with it. It's not
Yeah.
really until that he locks in.
Yeah.
Um,
really good. Uh, I love that as like the that is how we're winning the fight, because the real fight here is for Nami's freedom, right?
Right.
And destroying that effectively like frees her. This is beautiful. Really just great stuff. Arlong
Yeah.
Park. Uh yeah, so overall, pretty goddamn good like anime you got here.
We do
Uh
also get a little bit of Zoro's past, like, pirate hunter guys and
oh, they're fun. Yeah.
Baratier. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's such a funny thing about Zoro is he is forever Pirate Hunter Zoro, even though that was like one accident thing that he's like, well, I guess I need a little bit of money. Let me bring like a bounty in, and then like it gets immediately captured it by the Marines after that. It was
Yeah.
like such a small part of his story, and he's just Pirate Hunter Zoro across the world forever. Um, and that's kind of that like propaganda of the Marines and things like that. That's just kind of
Yeah.
it's powerful.
Definitely.
It's cool.
Uh
And then we get Logtown, right?
Logtown
Or
is
actually, first, we skipped Gaimon at some point. I forget where exactly
oh,
that
the
was.
the guy who was protecting treasure that didn't
Yeah,
end up being anything.
yeah.
It's fine.
Another emotionally intelligent moment from Luffy of just like, nope, the
Sure.
treasure's all ours.
Yep. Yeah. No,
um,
it's more than anything, these filler episodes. I don't even know if that counts as filler. I think that probably is
that
wrong.
was canon. That
Yeah.
was canon Gaimon stuff.
Yeah, because I feel like they use Gaimon later, probably. They kind of
Well, and
do
then we have the
even.
buggy side story
Yeah,
that
we have the
Gaimon
buggy
shows
side
back up.
story.
Which so the how the buggy side story worked um, was so for chapters there's like a title page essentially that he like makes a drawing one. The buggy side story was told from those like chapter title page splashes. So it wasn't like a chapter itself. It was just like, oh, if you just have all the chapters, you can kind of look at that cover image and get the story through that. Um,
Mhm.
which is kind of an interesting way of like doing those side stories.
Yeah, why not? That's fun. Uh, yeah, because I
And
figured it was
Logtown.
just like Logtown. Logtown's fine. That's kind of my take on Logtown. I'm like, it's cool to have Luffy stand where the
Roger
pirate,
said,
yeah, Captain Roger died, and
Goldie
like
Roger.
declare that he's gonna be the pirate king, and it's just that's powerful in and of itself.
Yeah,
Um,
and in the face of being in the literal gallows that killed the king of the pirates, he's just smiling.
yeah, he's just
Um,
smiling.
and then
Uh,
there's a little bit of like a Deus Ex Machina that frees him, and things like that. But
mhm,
like,
yeah,
yeah, it's kind of
yeah,
I think the point that it's
hmm
a Deus Ex Machina of just like yeah, it's um, we get Smoker, who's a cool character.
yeah. Smoker's
I love
fun.
the introduction of like he's the tough guy. He's got two cigars, and then
hmm
like he bumps into a kid, and he's like, "Oh, let me buy you a new ice cream. Here's some money to get some new ice cream." Like
Yeah,
that's a tight introduction. Okay, I know what this dude's about.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Smoker's cool. I like Smoker. Uh, Also, there's just one part where like I think it's like Usopp and Gort running away, and they run into uh Smoker, and he's just like sitting on the. It's like, what did he have, a motorcycle or something like that? That was the
he
aura
like
anyway.
becomes a motorcycle, I think, at one point or something. No, that Buggy becomes a motorcycle is what I'm thinking.
Oh, maybe I'm mixing it up. Uh,
Um,
it just had
we get
that
Usopp
aura.
moment where he is cowardly, and then he fights the where he tries to cheat at the shootout thing, and then gets his
Mhm.
second chance.
Yeah, good shit. We love to see it.
We already
Uh,
talked about Zoro sword shopping.
yeah. Though I do like, I think of all of the, I don't know where this is going. The girl in the sword shop being
Yeah.
just like the person from his past s- was a sincere moment of like, I want to know where this is going. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, like a really strong one that like if I keep watching, it'll
And he
mostly
like
be.
picks up her glasses and is like, "Oh, here they are." Oh wait, you look like this person like smashes
He
them.
crushes the
It's such
glasses, which
a
is really not one effective and two funny.
yeah.
Because you pick up the glasses, give him to someone, and he crush them out of surprise. It's just like
Yeah.
what? What?
The balance of like true emotional moments and hilarious moments is really well done in One Piece.
It's
Um,
incredibly well done. It is not easy to do.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I try and fail at it a lot. The stuff I write. Uh, because it just can feel jarring. Anime
Yeah.
a lot of times feels especially jarring.
Yeah.
Sometimes I chalk it up to like cultural differences in writing.
Right.
But I don't get that with One Piece. One
Yeah.
Piece, it all just feels natural. Uh, yeah, it's expertly done, at least in this arc, you know. But would you say that what you experience in the East Blue arc of One Piece, the East Blue chapter of One Piece, is a good representation of One Piece as a whole?
I think it is, but I think it's also just the beginning. All right, you have to do. They're still figuring things out, both storytelling wise. You have to do a lot of setup to be able to pay it off. You have to visually. I mean, I think some of the beginning. I mean, like the art style is basing on Oda's art, so you have that core art style, but like animation wise, it's not like it's perfect. Musically, they've got some really good songs, but they use the same like four songs a lot. um,
Mm-hmm.
so it still is figuring it out. There's a lot of room to grow, but I do think it's a pretty good representation of. You get a good look at what makes characters tick. You get a good representation of humor and emotional moments. I think it's a pretty good slice of One Piece.
Okay. What do you so do you think that where we cut this off, which was at the end of where Netflix says the first season ends?
Yeah,
Do
it's
you
the end
think
of
this is
East Blue Arc.
you have said Arlong Park is a good cutoff. I would say that if this is what you're going for, is like I want to see the beginning of One Piece and like where it all comes, how it all comes together.
Yeah.
Do you think? I think Arlong Park makes more sense than the full 61 episodes.
I think
But
it's a good stopping point. It's the before you go into um, the Grand Line, right? So it's a
mhm,
good spot of like we're not even at the real threats yet. This is the
yeah,
pre, this is the tutorial, right?
hmm, yeah,
So I
I
think
get that.
all of East Blue is a good point. But I do think Arlong Park is a good marker of if you finish Arlong Park and you weren't into it, don't bother with those last
Yeah.
15, 20 episodes.
Well, for what I was going for, which is I want a good representation of One Piece as a whole. I want the first part of One Piece. I think
Yeah,
what we watched was good.
I agree.
I think because it does also have the filler arcs.
Yeah, we got
Uh
the only true filler arc is that last one.
yeah,
The um
with the dragon guy.
Apis, yeah, the dragon guy.
I tuned out of most of that, so we don't have to really
Yeah.
talk about too much of that. Uh
It's interesting. One Piece filler is interesting to me of like it's all solid. It's
yeah,
also skippable. I wouldn't
yeah.
blame you for either. I don't think it's worth I think it's worth watching. I also think it's could be worth skipping. Um so
Yeah. I think so. Uh I want to have a bigger conversation about like filler and pacing and
yeah.
skipping. Uh it's interesting. Because in the modern day, you can sit down and watch something edited easily.
Yeah.
Like there is One Pace, which
There
aims
is One
to
Piece, yeah.
edits out. It is most, which is a fan edit of One Piece to like trim it down to its best parts. That keeps most of what we've said
Right.
so far. That is good. Like I think it brings the 43 episodes to 42, so you don't really need to worry about that, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
especially in the beginning it doesn't cut out a ton.
Yeah.
Um In later ones, it will cut out more as you stretch. So actually, recently, within this last month, the One Piece has stopped being a weekly anime. So it's not coming out every single week. They're finally getting to the point of like, all right, let's build up some and give time that it needs, which is
Yeah.
going to be beneficial for those worst times of um, pacing.
Hmm.
Of like, okay, we just need to stretch this out because the story we need, you know, we need more story to come out.
Yeah.
Um, and that's where I think One Piece I don't have a problem with, you know, trimming this that has the same flashback in 3 episodes in a row, just doing it once, right? I don't think I have a problem in that. I don't think I agree with the people that are just like skip um,
Mm.
things, maybe filler, but like for a long time there was like, oh, you can skip Skypiea, and it's like,
Mm.
no, I don't think you can.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
One because
It's.
it's good, but also it's like no, things are gonna come back. You know, there's thought to this. It's not like it's there for nothing.
I think that it relates to just generally. I think this is. I'm gonna get pretty big picture here.
Yeah,
I think the way people consume media in the modern age is much different than how they did even 20 years ago. I think
agreed.
that we all are a little less patient. I think you and I, as people who have lived with ADD our whole lives, can maybe speak to this a
Oh yeah,
little bit. Uh, there is also a want from people to have finished something, right?
yes,
There is a want to check the box, and One Piece almost exists counter to that philosophy.
yeah.
Uh, you end up with a show that is 1,000 episodes and counting. Uh, that is not about reaching the end.
Right.
Uh, to me, this is easily better than Dragon Ball. But most people,
And I'm a Dragon
I
Ball
th-
lover.
what was
I
that?
agree. And I'm a
You would
Dragon
agree.
Ball lover. We both are,
Mhm.
and I
We both
agree.
are. This is easily better than Dragon Ball. This is some of the best television I think I've seen. As far as
Yeah.
like upbeat, like cartoony stuff, I think this is top tier.
I will say it
But
is very much up both of our alleys from our interests.
yes,
It's not
definitely.
necessarily going to be the case for everyone, but it
Yeah.
is very much up
If
both
you've
of our
listened
alleys.
this far, you know kind of what our tastes can be. This feeds into that
Yeah.
perfectly. Uh, what what it brings to the table is something that a lot of people don't want to see, which is, I feel like there are more people. I follow Game of the Year debates a lot, and
Mhm.
you know, people will almost get exhausted these days when a game is 100 hours, which I
Right.
get. It's a 100-hour game, but also you don't have to get to the end of it, and no one's making you play it, right?
Right.
No one's anyone who's like, I there's a bitterness that I had to fight within myself, and I think is true for other people, that said One Piece is annoying just in existence because it is this thing I feel like I have to watch and will take 400 hours of my life, right?
Right.
That's if you know, kill that thought in its sleep, you will love One Piece.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
it's it's almost a jealousy. You're like,
mhm.
I am jealous
Yes.
that these people love this thing that feels so inaccessible to me.
Yeah, it's a FOMO thing for sure. Yeah.
Um, but it's not inaccessible because
Hmm.
you could find someone on the street and say I love One Piece. I've only watched East Blue.
Yeah.
And one, you know, there'd probably be some people that are like fake fan, whatever. But there'd be a lot of people that are like, hell yeah,
Hmm.
welcome to the crew. You know, like
Yeah.
you don't have to be caught up. You don't have. It doesn't matter. You know, you
Hmm.
you wear it proudly, and people don't care. You're just on the journey, and I think that's it's an antithesis to a lot of my mentality with things as well. Like you said, of like I am very much of like I want to move on to the next thing. I want to, you know, I'd love to binge this thing and be done with it, and you know, all of that. And it is so counter to that, and that is probably good for me.
Hmm. Yeah. It's almost like a healthy meditation to the consumer addicted to checking boxes. It's like here's something that's just gonna be good. That's 1,000 hours that you can leave when you want to, and will be good throughout. Uh,
Yeah.
there are the filler arcs, so maybe I think if I continued to watch it, I would do One Pace, to at
Yeah.
least tighten those up, right? But
Yeah. I think I would agree. I've watched some of One Piece. I think it's well done. It's a big fan project.
mhm.
Um, I think it's well done. I don't think there's any issue in that. Um, I also think it's. I don't mind watching the filler, as someone that would sometimes be the sort of person that would skip it. I enjoyed watching it. I watched as well for this. I watched the first two movies, which are non-canon. Essentially they're filler, but
Yeah,
I had a blast with them. Yeah, they're still the characters you love, whether it's canon or not.
yeah, definitely. I mean, like the whole like kind of elephant graveyard ending of this full filler arc. It was like pretty like, oh, this is kind of sad and like,
Right.
it's all like still good because the
Yeah.
characters are good and the tone is good and the story's good and the setting's good. And so like, okay, so you want to do a quick little throwaway side story that's completely fine. Uh
Yeah.
yeah. Uh so uh do we want to get to grades, you think?
Yeah. I think that I've had a couple more things I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's rattle off some thoughts. I feel like that's a good
One,
thing to do.
we talked about Zoro and Sanji separate. They're kind
Hmm.
of two sides of the same coin. They're always kind of paired up as,
Interesting.
at each other's throats, but also so similar and so different. They're kind of that perfect, like, you know, brotherly love slash hate. um, um,
I
which
love
I
that
think
for
is a
them.
fun dynamic. I think we got into kind of how that works just by talking about them separately, so I don't think we necessarily need to talk about that too much. I wanted to bring up, so you watch just the normal dub. You got We Are, which is an incredible opening, right?
Hmm.
Um, when I grew up with it, some of the first experience I got was the Four Kids dub.
Mm. And
So
how's
the
that?
Four Kids dub, like Pokemon, you censor some things. So Sanji doesn't smoke cigarettes; he has a lollipop, right?
Perfect.
Things like that,
Perfect.
which I kind of love. I think I wouldn't recommend to start that way, but I kind of love it. And one other thing I love, and I will send it to you, is the opening to the Four Kids dub is a
Hmm.
pirate rap. So instead of We Are, you have the pirate rap. It's so good. It's so good. It's so cheesy, but it's so good. Um,
Yeah. I guess my least favorite part, I don't know if this is controversial. We Are is so cheesy. It is
it
takes a
is.
lot for something to be too cheesy for me, but I think We Are is.
It is,
So
but I
the
kind of love
pirate
that
rap
about it.
might be cheesy in a different angle that appeals to me more. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna go check that out.
We Are is one of those things that like you move on even by the end of East Blue, we get a different opening, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you move on from it. So then when it does come back in like the instrumentals and stuff and moments, you're like, oh, that's We Are. Um,
Yes. You know what? Fair. Because it goes away and then later it's gonna come back and people are gonna go crazy. I
yeah,
also like this like hyper popish, not hyper pop. What's it? I'm using the wrong word. Like the the new
city pop.
opening. The
Yeah,
new opening has this almost like initial D esque kind of sound
yeah, like not quite
that I'm
Eurobeat,
really
like an
about.
initial D, but kind of towards that. Yeah,
Yeah, or at least the like there's drums or synths or something like that that's giving Eurobeat.
yeah,
That I'm just like, this is fun.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
One other thing we talked about, like One Piece and some of those truncating. I wanted to talk about the live action One Piece
Hmm.
that came out on
Okay,
Netflix.
sure. Let's hear it.
So the live action One Piece, which I think is actually for the sort of people that watching 60 episodes is not something they're ever going to be willing to do. I
Hmm.
think it's potentially worth watching. For example, my wife.
Hmm.
couldn't really get into the anime. She liked the live action, right? Um,
Okay.
but they do cut out and shift something. So I want to kind of go over some of those key things. And
Yeah,
let me
let's hear it.
pull it up a little. So one big change, well, I guess a couple small changes first. They removed some characters, like they cut out the Gaimon stuff, which I think is reasonable for time fillers and also budget. Because a lot of actually the live action is real sets.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
So understand budget wise. They cut out some of the side characters, like Hachi doesn't exist in there. Uh, some of Kuro's crew, like the hypnotist guy, I don't think is there.
Hmm.
But one of the biggest changes to me is they fully remove Don Krieg. So the Baratier arc still happens, but it's Arlong shows up and destroys some of it and things like that. And then
Interesting.
things like that. They still have the Mihawk stuff and whatnot, but Don Krieg fully removed. Um, Essentially, you don't have that large battle at the Baratier,
Hmm.
um, which I do think
Interesting.
I don't know if I agree with. I
I
understand it. I don't know if I
Mhm.
agree with it.
Yes, I that's where I am with it too. Uh,
I will
yeah.
say live action has Oda's approval. He's a big part of setting it up, so that's
Okay,
that's um
that's good.
gives you it a little bit of a pass and things like that. But still,
I I have a very strong memory of watching the live action One Piece with a friend. Seeing a bullet go into Luffy, bounce way back, and then shoot back out, and the leaning forward, going like this, and I'm like, oh, he actually knows nothing about
yeah.
One Piece. And that was it. He was like, that's the wildest thing to see if you are not prepared for it even a little bit. I'm like, for
Casting for the
sure.
One Piece live action is great too, I think.
Hmm. Oh, good. I didn't even see because I watched the first episode, so I saw Luffy.
Yeah,
God, and I loved him. Everyone was like, "You have to get Luffy right."
yeah, yeah. I think
I
he
gotta
does
at
a great
least
job.
keep going. I gotta at least keep going till we see. Do we see all five of the pirates? Does this get through East Blue?
It gets through Arlong Park. It doesn't go to
Okay,
Logtown.
okay. Do you think we'll go to
Um,
Logtown? We'll probably get Logtown for
It'll
one
be probably in
episode.
the start, and then you'll get through Alabasta. Would be the
Hmm.
next season. Would be my guess.
Yeah, go
Um,
chapter by chapter, I'm sure.
yeah. So the Straw Hat crew all
Hmm.
have like implied ethnicities to an extent.
Okay.
And I think they do that to an extent well with some of the casting. So Luffy is implied like Brazilian, which I think they do well in the casting. Zoro is obviously Japanese. Also, Four Kids dub is Zolo, not Zoro, which was hard
Weird
for me to
choice.
wrap my brain around later when I'm like, wait, but why are people calling him Zoro? He's Zolo, right?
Is it
Um,
just because Zoro's like a named character in fiction?
Honestly, I think it's translation thing. You know, the R there's no like L sounds in Japanese, so
Weird. Okay.
um
You'd
I
think
looked
you'd
it
see
up.
the sword guy and be like, they probably meant Zoro, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever for
Yeah.
kids.
Um Sanji, French,
Love that.
makes sense.
Makes sense.
This lists um Usopp is Africa from Africa,
Okay.
Nami from Sweden, and then uh people you haven't gotten to like Chopper Canadian, Nico Robin Russian, Frankie USA. That one is 100%. He is powered his cyborg body by cola, so he is 100% USA.
Thanks. Oh, our boy. Our next president.
Um, yeah, honestly, please. Um, so I think that's an interesting thing, and I think they do decently well with the casting as well. But I do think it's interesting in that concept of trimming out sections or skipping sections. It's a like successful but you're not going to get those same impacts sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I can. It's the four kids differences are so interesting. It's just like it's like listening to Kids Bop
Oh
version
yeah,
of One Piece.
yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well, That's that's the best. Thank you. We should have a moment every time we do like a media. It's like, okay, and then how did they edit it for TV? I want to see like the this was at 4 o'clock on a Saturday version of House, right?
Right. Yeah, we
uh
just need a 4 kids version of every media.
yes, please. I'm sure if they got to release it on cable, then there's a version out there.
Yeah.
That's true. I just don't know if, you know, anyone is like, yeah, I want to put House in my programming.
I guess you could look at translations for some countries where they
Yeah.
can't show some things and the cuts that are made for that. Though a lot of that
Uh,
is cutting out like anything remotely LGBT. But
yes, real. Uh, the one note I had that we didn't really get to is how good island hopping works for such
oh, yeah.
like a this kind of story, right? It's so like
Yeah,
and then
there's
there's a new thing here, and then you hop on the ship and you go to the next place, and it's
there's
just
something that One Piece
clean.
does better than anything else, in my opinion, is
Hmm.
the short term versus long term storytelling.
Hmm.
There's short term, you're on this island, you have this conflict. There's long term storytelling that you're seeding things for the future.
Hmm.
And that's only something you can do with something as long as One Piece. Is you can have that kind of distinct difference between short term storytelling um, and long term storytelling, and that gets to that idea I said of like character development versus progression. Of like,
Hmm.
yeah, you're not going to have a character arc in this short term, but in this long term storytelling, you do have that progression. Um, I
This
think
is
is a
really
really
good.
interesting thing.
Let's get to grades.
Let's get
Uh,
to grades.
you've probably had your grade ready for a while. So let's hear yours first.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think One Piece East Blue is not yet peak One Piece, but still a really strong start. I think, and it's I mean it's longer than some shows. The start, right?
Hmm.
The I called it what the tutorial is longer than a lot of shows. Like, um, so maybe that should give it a knock, but I don't think it does in my mind. Um, I think it's got to be an A at lowest A minus to me. Um, it's strong, and you have those moments. I'm trying to think of the weakest moments compared to the best moments. The best moments are, you know, 100% A plus. You know, the giving Nami asking for help scene will always be some of the strongest emotional beats in things I've watched generally, right?
Yeah.
And there's not that many low notes to me. Um, so I think that holds it pretty high to me. What about you?
Yeah. I think there are some moments in this chapter that are like uh a little slow, you know.
Yeah,
It's just kind of going back to the pace conversation. It's just kind of, you know, as gross as it is to boil something down to pace. That is mostly where my negatives lie here.
yeah,
But they you in doing that, you have just as many strong moments where they things are quiet and slow, and they use it artistically
right.
and like just let a moment hang.
Yeah,
They're
I am
smart
super
with it.
glad
It
for that.
isn't. Yeah.
You have the tragic stories and you have, you know, Zoro's defeat and things like that, and you don't immediately rush to the next thing. I think that's
Yeah.
the strength to slowing it down. But I do agree that there is some downside to that as well.
And you feel it. Uh, it does dock points for me. You
Yep.
feel how slow. Like because some of it is just that they have to keep pace with the manga, right? And that's not its fault.
Right.
Uh, but there's a lot of aspects that are just like we have a way of doing this that we can just really slow things down and let it hit, right?
Yep.
So as it isn't as much a knock for me as it is for other things, and especially throughout this conversation, it has. This is one of those things where talking through it has raised it for me.
Yeah,
Uh,
I get that.
because I think I realized how much I respect the thought put behind all the characters and the setting, uh, so that it can feel so simple, right?
Right.
Every like all of the character designs just uh like inform who the character is so strongly.
Yeah, and that's
Uh,
not even something we get too much in East Blue, but we do
mhm,
get in Future. Characters change clothes
yeah,
and things like that, which is also a
yeah,
rarity in anime. Like,
yeah,
there's different outfits for different islands and things like that, which is great.
yeah. I love that,
Outfits and
but that
haircut styles and things like that.
but it's just so well realized, and
Yeah.
the uh as I've said before, that the structure works. It just kind of all works. What I've heard about One Piece is that the only reason people don't consider it the best anime ever is because, one, emotionally they're tied to uh, Dragon Ball, and valid. It's also really good. And then two, there's filler arcs that really bring it down later. As far not sorry, as far as like story pace goes, stuff
Yeah.
like
I don't
that.
think it's filler arcs as much as spread out arcs.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Not entire arcs, but like how long things take to happen.
Right.
Sometimes I do not feel like that's too much of an issue in East Blue.
Not in East Blue. It does like Dressrosa is I think the worst of it.
Hmm.
But East Blue is pretty like there's not too much fat to trim. I don't.
Yeah, I give this an A. I think this is
All
an
right.
A, like a 94, 95.
I think yeah, a solid A makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I do hope you continue with it. Whether we
I
talk about it more here, or maybe that's a bonus episode. Maybe we'll figure that out. But
I hope I do too. Maybe a year from now we do a check in with Tommy and see,
yeah,
if I did watch something, maybe I talk about what I've watched so far.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so this is an A.
Hmm.
Is it above or below Pokemon VGC, which is our other A?
Uh, I put this above.
Above
Not
VGC?
because of any negative from VGC. I just think this is so strong and well realized. It's hard. It's very apples and oranges, isn't it? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Like uh, we're gonna
Yeah.
get to the regrading stuff eventually. But right now, just gut feeling, like this is pretty high for me.
Yeah, I have a strong tie to One Piece. I
Hmm.
have a strong tie to Pokemon. Pokemon is trimmed to specifically Worlds 2025 stuff we viewed. Um, which so I agree. Even though I was there and had the fun experience, just like a quantity argument, One Piece probably edges it out. Um,
Makes
both
sense to
good.
me. Uh, both good, definitely. Does this
So
put it
that's our
at
new
number one?
highest grade. This is our new highest grade.
I think that makes sense. As far as the collective passion between the two of us, I think this is easily the highest.
Yeah, and I'm glad it was such a hit for you. It's
Yes,
not for
of course
everyone.
it was.
I don't blame anyone that's like, oh, I bounced off of that, or there's people that are like, oh, the art style's not for me. It's like, all right, well, that's the art style's not going to change. That's not going to get, you're not going to get won over by that. Like, I
Yeah.
get it, but it is also so up my alley of you know, the subtext there combined with the surface level's great. The subtext is great. You kind of win me on both.
Hmm.
Um, you
Yeah.
are very shonen, which I love. You are also very unique in your own way.
Also, just kind of, I kept watching Dragon Ball despite the beginning. Kind of, if we're
Okay.
gonna be honest. Like the very beginning of Dragon Ball is like it aged pretty poorly for me. And
Yeah.
so this is as tight as anything that comes out today, in my opinion, which it's
I
been
agree.
25 years, so it says something.
More than I mean, 97. It's been 28 years, yeah, almost
28 years,
29.
yeah. Crazy. No, but then
Um,
it's 2012. What are you talking about? Uh, so,
um,
and then finally, we should probably get on to the second half of this podcast. Uh,
yeah.
so, what was your assignment from me, Dalton?
To go ice skating. I guess I can remove my hat. I guess I can pass my hat like
Did you
Shanks
wear it
does.
ice skating?
I
Oh,
did
thank
not.
you.
I passed my hat on to you as Shanks does to Luffy, passing on his treasure.
And now we're moving on to the next conversation. You're like, let's go.
I do think I wore this shirt ice skating, which
There you
is
go.
a character, well, both a Pokemon character and a One Piece character, Ace, who you have not met. Yeah,
I could put on my giant Midwest parka
there you go.
for this segment. That's maybe what I could do.
There you
Uh,
go.
you know what? Yeah, give me 1 second. Entertain the
All right.
guests.
Um, I did almost go a second time. I did life stuff kind of came in the way, so I didn't get to go. I was hoping to go in Minnesota outdoors as well. In which case, I have a One Piece sweater that says Nakama on it and has a moment for those One Piece fans from Alabasta, where they all hold up their arms and they've got their X tattoo. So in theory, I would have been having One Piece on for both of my ice skatings, but only the first one happened for myself, which we'll get into details about now that Tommy is back and geared
Hmm.
up.
Yeah, let's hear those details.
Yeah, so I went. I was actually originally already had plans to go ice skating with a couple coworkers. We generally, um, the couple of us on in the same location, try to meet up for like a holiday party because we're not by our main location that has the like full party. So we try to meet up, and it's also around one of their birthdays. So we were going to do that, but then plans had to shift, and I mean, I hope I still get to go out with them in the new year now. But we didn't get to go together. But I was still like, well, screw it, I'm going anyways, just myself. But I went with Lindsay, my wife, instead of the coworkers, and that was the week that the episode 2 came out. So I was pretty much done with my homework immediately. um, as far as ice skating goes. What about yourself? I think you went not too long after that, right?
I went like 2 weeks after our call. I set up some time to do it with my mom,
Oh, that's
which was a
awesome.
lot of fun. My mom loves, like me, I get it from her, like little day adventures.
That's awesome.
Not a whole vacation, but like we like, oh, 2 hours to like go on a walk or like go to the beach, something like that. And so I
That's
was like,
awesome.
she is the perfect person for this. My dad came along because where we did it was a very my dad thing, because
Okay.
I went ice skating at the ice skating rink that they set up in front of Wrigley Field for
Okay. Yeah.
Kindlemarked.
Yeah.
And Kindlemarked as a whole, happening next to you ice skating, is very just, I cannot describe such a vibe. I mean, we
Yeah.
could
No,
get
that's
more
awesome.
into it, but yeah,
That's cool. I know you have a lot more options to ice rinks,
I do.
both
I'm in
outdoor and indoor.
Chicagoland, yeah.
Where I've
So
got one option. um,
yeah. So tell us more about this one option.
yeah. So there's. I don't think there's probably one on other islands, but on Oahu, there's a single ice rink, the Ice Palace.
Hmm.
And I've gone there before, and I went this time, and it was packed. Like,
Mm.
I went a lot in high school. It was like my Friday activity with some friends and things. You might have come like once, but
I think
it
so.
wasn't as common for you as some of the other of that group. But
Hmm.
it wasn't like the cool thing to do in high school when I was doing it. I was doing it because I liked it. It was packed with like high school people. I don't know if that's because it's more novel here, um, but like it was packed, and I guess that's good.
I think it's very good. I am constantly, as an old man, afraid that kids aren't getting out at all.
Yeah.
So to hear that they all went ice skating, at least they know how to do it over in Oahu.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's kind of those third spaces seem to exist here more than other places. For example, we're kind of across the street from a mall. I'm not going to say what to dox myself, but we're across the street from a mall. Um, and that mall is always full of people of all ages. You've got the kapuna, the elders kind of walking around doing their thing. Some maybe they have like their line dancing in the middle sometimes on weekends and things. You also have like after school, the kids will go from like the elementary or whatever and hang out there as well. Like it's kind of still alive as a mall, which is a rarity. Um,
Beautiful. Yeah.
so I'm glad that that exists. I'm glad the Ice Palace seems to exist as that third space to hang out with your friends on a Saturday or whatever. It's good.
Hmm.
It makes it harder to skate at a pace I would like, but I would happily give that up for the next generation.
Yeah, I would say so yeah, like I said, Chicagoland, I would give it up for the next generation. I am in a way because it was uh people on dates, which
Right.
cute. Always
Yeah,
love that.
it's a great
And
date option.
great date option. Uh and then the other one was like families, like very young
Right.
families, which is beautiful. That's how my memories of ice skating are
Yeah.
mostly when I was very young. There was like a park district by me that
Yeah.
somehow had an ice skating rink.
It's
Insane
kind
for
of
a
the
park district
perfect
to have that, but
family slash couple activity because
yeah,
by the nature of it, it's really easy to hold hands and be like, "Oh, I'll help you."
yeah,
you know?
yeah. It was, and getting to do it again with family and like you with your partner. It's like
Right.
it's like such a solid option. Uh, yeah, Kindle Marked is beautiful.
It
If
is.
you live in the Midwest, it is worth taking a Chicago Christmas trip and making
Yeah,
Kindle
it's
Mark part
beautiful.
of it. It's effectively just a like German market where they're selling like stinky cheese and pretzels and fancy chocolates.
Yeah.
As well as all these like homemade like knitted sweaters, and like it kind
Yeah,
of
and like
has like
glass ornaments and things like that.
it's like it's so Christmassy you wouldn't believe. They got a giant
Yeah.
tree in the middle of here, and the whole time I'm going around, and it's Wrigley Field is right next to me.
Yeah.
And so it's like three things at once, and I'm there with my mom, I'm there with my dad. And it was just such a
Oh, I love that.
beautiful holiday experience, one of the best I've had in a very long time. At that level, as far as like
Kindle Mart
memory
also
making goes.
perfectly Christmas in a both not overly religious nor overly corporate. It's like a perfect
Yes.
kind of like vibe of
It's
Christmas.
exactly what you need. It is just kind of that like middle Europe like winter
Yeah,
energy.
like
Like
pagan
yeah,
pagan winter holiday.
yeah. And so we got my dad was off on the side with his little hot chocolate mug, which they do a
Yeah.
different one every year, which is
Yeah.
fun. It's just kind of rocks. It was a very small rink.
Yes.
I want to talk about real quick. I am not an ice skater. That is not something I go and do. I don't think I stepped on an ice skating rink in 10 years. When I
Okay.
got on there. Uh, I left that morning nervous. I was like,
Okay.
I'm gonna fall. I had a fear, even like specifically of some, I don't know if this happens or how it happens, of falling, my feet going out in front of me having put my hands down and just losing all my fingers. I'm like, that's how people fall, right? And that's
Your
how
rental
physics
skates are
works.
nowhere near sharp enough for that either.
Yeah, and first of all, not rational. Not a rational fear, but one I couldn't shake. The whole morning I was looking up like how to fall, safely,
Yeah.
because of it.
It's
Uh,
kind of an important step of learning to skate is learning to fall,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah. I didn't fall the whole time,
Okay.
uh, which was nice. Me and my parents, we got there. I started off on the wall,
Right.
and then like bit by bit, I like was able to not have to hold on to the wall, and then I was able to like keep momentum going if I focused, and then I had to focus a little less, and then a little less, and in a 30-minute period, you can confidently skate.
Yeah.
I
No, you kind
that
of
is my
speed
experience.
run learning to skate.
Yeah,
It's kind
and
of that exact process everyone goes through.
you learn how to skate by, it's kind of that learning how to swim. It's like you put skates on, you get in there. If you fall, you fall, and then you get back up,
Yeah.
and
Be like
it's
Luffy.
just, yeah, exactly. It's like Luffy. You do it. You do it to do it.
Yeah. And you fall and
Uh,
you get back up. He's made of rubber. He falls and he gets right back up.
it was actually so very fun for me. Like
That's
I
good. That's
it wasn't any I wasn't great at it by the end. I was used to like kiddie skates, which are
okay.
the ones that have like the ridging up on the front. I don't know if that's a
Okay,
type of
so more
skate.
like a ice skate. Um,
Yeah, more of an ice skate
like figure
skate than.
skating has that, where hockey skates are just around it.
Yeah. I think what I'm thinking is like up at the front of the blade there's like ridging so that you could like
Yeah.
dig in.
So figure skates have that style more. More
Okay.
hockey skates do not.
Yeah, because there were some people in high school who were figure skaters at the place I used to go to, so that
Okay.
must have been the connection there. But I didn't have that, and I kind of relied on that coming up, and so I really had to
Right.
learn to like kind of do the same thing, but more like with the side of the blade, and it's kind of more of a kickoff than
Yeah.
like a push yourself forward. Uh,
Right.
and I don't know. Uh, and then you get into the vibe. I was good enough where a child fell right in front of me, and I was able to swerve out of the way. And that was,
Nice.
in hindsight, terrifying. And that kid fell every 10 seconds, and
Yeah.
he was fine. And I am gonna be one of those parents who worries about every little thing that could happen to my kid. The child-proof
Were there
dad.
kids with helmets on?
No helmets.
I love hockey helmets on little kids. They're like big bobbleheads. It's so cute.
That's so true. I'll go into a little league game too. It's like
Yeah.
same thing. It's just like, oh,
Yeah,
look at the
any
little
sport
guy.
with a helmet, but hockey because it's like a full enclosure one. It's just like you play the game and put on big head mode. It's so good.
I gotta, I gotta go find pictures of like that little league look. Then that's so funny.
Yeah.
Uh, that's funny. Yeah. Well, it wasn't hockey. I think it was a lot of like, we're just gonna go ice skating for the one time this year, maybe for the first time, right? Uh, it
It's
was.
a great holiday tradition. And
I
that's why
think
I wanted to give it to you.
that's literally like after we got off. My dad didn't even go, but he just enjoyed
Okay.
watching us because like
Yeah.
it was just kind of like my mom was having a bad day and instantly it became a good day.
Oh, I'm so glad to
And
hear that.
like and my dad was like, "This is a new tradition," and I completely agree.
That's
Everyone
great.
should go ice skating. It is
It's a
so
perfect
fulfilling.
holiday thing. It's so low stakes. It's so you can be there for 20 minutes, you can be there for an hour, whatever, however long you want to be. How you can, drink a hot beverage after, you can whatever. It's such a like low commitment but enjoyable activity. It's
Yes. How did you get into it? What was it that made you ice skating kid?
So when I moved out of the city, so I grew up originally in Chicago, like Irving Park sort of area. Um, and I was in third grade when we moved out of the city. I didn't start in school in the suburbs till fourth grade. But um, that summer between third and fourth, both by necessity of needing daycare essentially, because my parents worked full time, and to kind of make friends in that area, my parents put me into camp right outside of the elementary school I was going to go to, and it was like a sports camp. So
Mhm.
you had rotating things. You would do, all sorts of different sports. You would also go swimming once or twice a week, which is also where I taught myself to swim. And you would go, I think it was every Tuesday, you'd go to the ice rink. And just by necessity of being there, you did that in much slower pace than you did, but you'd start just going around the outside. And then you'd get faster going around the outside. And then you'd be like, all right, I'm going to try, going in between. And you just kind of learned to do it. And then I didn't for many years, but I enjoyed hockey a lot, especially growing up in Chicago. It was a very good era to like hockey with the
Yes.
Blackhawks.
Yes.
So I started watching a lot more hockey. I would go with my parents to like AHL, the Chicago Wolves games as well, because they were a lot more affordable than the Blackhawks. So we went to those growing up. So I kind of liked hockey, and then just kind of mixed both of those. They were like, okay, I want to, go ice skating again. More in high school, I kind of picked it back up again, as well as I would play like street hockey in my, backyard. And then eventually I combined those two. I played a couple seasons of men's league late high school. But it was kind of both that early journey teaching myself, and then, after really enjoying hockey, wanting to get back into it a little later.
And do you have like this holiday tradition yourself of going to like get hockey back in your life?
Not hockey yet. I
Not
would
hockey, I
like
guess
to,
ice skating,
though.
but
Yeah, hockey. I would like to potentially play again someday, but it's a lot of pads to both purchase and store. Space is at a premium. It's kind of hard to commit to being like, oh, I'm gonna fill a closet with big pads. So I haven't yet. I would like to maybe someday, but we do try to go. We typically go back in Minnesota when with my in-laws, just because it is so accessible on lakes.
yes.
It's pretty cheap. You essentially buy rent skates for $8 or whatever there, because we don't pack our skates obviously here. I bring my skates. So it's very accessible there. So it's typically something we do outside there. But we have the last couple of years tried to here as well at the Ice Palace, because it isn't as holiday-y weather-wise here. You still have people decorate, and you still have a Christmas parade, but it's in growing up somewhere where it gets cold, you don't have that, so it feels like you have to put extra effort into feeling the holidays. So that's part of that extra effort,
Yeah.
is going to a place that is a little bit cooler inside and having some fun there.
I've never done lake skating in my
Yeah.
life. That seems even scarier. But I'm
The
sure
ice
by
quality is
now.
worse. You get some
Mhm.
lumps and stuff, but
Okay, interesting. How does that affect it? Like, do you just fall more, or?
it's just uneven. So, you might hit a spot that all of a sudden it ramped up, and it's not just flat.
I got you.
So you could fall more, you could whatever. There might be an outside too, in the same way probably with your being outside, there might be some areas that are a little more puddled and things like that. Though I'm sure the Kindle Mart had some pretty good setup to try to avoid that.
It was pretty good. There was, yeah, I mean, they had a Zamboni, but it was pretty. My favorite word, by the way, is Zamboni. Period.
It's a good one.
That's a top tier word because it could be called a re-icer or something like that.
Yeah.
Thank God it isn't. The uh, it was a solid ice skating rink from what I could tell. We a little fun thing we noticed because ours it was like kind
Zamboni
of
was the surname of the inventor, Frank J. Zamboni.
uh
Italian
God
American. Shout outs to him.
King. We need Zamboni Day instead of Columbus Day. It's a lot cleaner. I've got it. Yeah, you know what? We're Italians. We're gonna start doing December 15th or whatever, just arbitrary holiday. Does it have his birthday up on wherever you're looking?
Let me look him up. Frank's it. And that you don't even get the Sopranos problem, which is an incredible scene where they're like, "We got it. Columbus was one of us. We gotta support it."
Yeah.
Because this is Italian American. It's like, all right, sure.
This house
January
Zamboni's a fucking
16th.
hero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
January
Yes, he is.
16th. Which honestly, let's make it Zamboni Day. That'll be
No
pretty much
way
right
that.
after our episode comes out. So Please leave a happy Zamboni day in the comments
Yes, you have
if you
to.
got this far.
Happy Zamboni Day, everybody. This clip dropped on January 16th. Uh, so great, great. That made me
1901.
made me so
He
happy.
was born.
1901. That's really early for Zambonis. Did we
That was
improve
when he
on the
was born.
Zamboni?
That's when he was born.
Oh,
He invented it in like 49.
that makes sense. I can see 49. In fact, he
In
could have done
Eureka,
earlier.
Utah.
Eureka, Utah.
Yeah, that's
I
where he
want a
was born.
movie about this guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Our next assignment is a book report on Zamboni. You're already giving it though. Uh, I can go. Uh, I can go ice skating like way more if I was able to fit it in my life. One of many
I would
things.
like
Hey,
to more
that's the
as well. I
theme.
really
That
should. There's not that much stopping me.
yeah,
I really should.
yeah. I feel like for you because it's got like the history to it too. Like I would do it. You know, like I've
Yeah.
got childhood things. Like I got a guitar sitting over there, and I don't play constantly, but it's nice to like know that it's there. You know, and
Yeah.
keep sharp on it.
Yeah, I still got my skates in the closet, so anytime I can kind of grab those and go.
Hmm.
I did skate a good amount in high school, or not high school. I did it in high school a lot, but in college, the school I went to, we didn't have a football team. We weren't like that. Our big sport was hockey. Um, we won, I think, 2 championships while I was there.
Did you
Um,
audition? The word's
I was
not
no near.
audition. I'm such a dork.
I was
Did you
nowhere
try out?
nearly good enough to be on their team. Um,
Tragic.
like a lot of them make it to the NHL from that team.
Oh, alternate universe where you're from the NHL.
But I would still go to like stick and puck because it was free for students and things. So I would just kind of do that every once in a while. I also played a lot of broom ball, which wasn't
Hmm.
on skates but was on ice.
Yeah.
So I did do a decent amount there. And then when we lived in downtown, there was in the winter they'd have an outdoor rink that was free if you had your own skates. So Lindsay and I would go fairly regularly to that too because we couldn't afford the things that weren't free. So it was a good activity.
Hmm. Yeah. That's that's special. We all need things like that. Uh, things that like we can. I think it's cool that you have the skates, right?
Yeah.
That you
Still
like.
my same ones from high school.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. Are they in good condition?
Yeah, I mean they probably could use a sharpening, but they work.
Good
They could
shit.
probably the laces are getting a little frayed. I could probably get some new laces and sharpen them, and then they'd be pretty good.
That's what you really gotta do is you gotta set yourself up for the next time. Get the new
Yeah,
laces, sharpen the blades, and that way like you'll be like excited to go.
yeah.
Uh yeah. Uh all right. We really went into One Piece. Anything
Yep.
else on this you wanna
No,
get out
I'm
there?
glad it became such a good. I'm glad it was a family outing for you. I'm glad it will potentially be a tradition. I wanted to share a holiday tradition of mine, a newer holiday tradition of mine, and I'm glad that landed as well as it did.
Hmm.
So
Yes. Landed.
I'm glad. Thank you for taking it so seriously for your own,
Yes, of course it did.
because it'd
It
be
was
super
homework.
easy.
I didn't want a
It'd
bad
be
grade.
super easy. I mean, for a lot of our actual homework,
Hmm.
you do the bare minimum. It'd be super easy to be like, yeah, I went. I just went for 30 minutes on my own to the one right
Oh my
behind me.
God.
Um,
Like what version of this? I mean, I effectively yesterday did the cramming for One
yeah,
Piece. I watched like I think the last 20 episodes in the last half week. So I was
right.
watching up until this call to be honest. So there you go.
Yeah.
It is don't worry. The homeworkness is not getting lost in
No,
this.
it's just good because I
Yeah.
think it would have been a very different grade, um, being done
Mhm.
that way. So I appreciate that, and I'm glad that it was enjoyable.
So, I think we should grade ice skating based on how good of a holiday tradition it is, because that's kind of
Okay.
what you were going for, right? Am I right in
Okay.
saying that?
Yeah, I like that. It's a hard one to grade generally.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be an interesting thought experiment of like how does ice skating compare to The movie
House.
House. You know?
I think I think if you I think narrowing the experience down to it being like a holiday themed thing has
Yeah.
like a success or failure angle to
Yeah.
it, right? So let's go
I
there.
like that. And I do think that almost raises the grade too for me.
I mean, I was gonna start by saying like, uh, maybe I had perfect conditions, right? And
Yeah.
I might have, but unless there's some horrific accident that happens in the universe where I was right, I don't think there's any negatives to ice skating. It's cheap, first of all, to get
Yeah.
renting. It's like it's easy to pick up. It is uh fulfilling. It
Yeah.
is it is
Because it's both harder
yeah,
and easier than it should be.
yes. Uh 100%.
So it's both a
Uh
challenge you're overcoming and also a challenge you reasonably can overcome.
yeah. So I will give it an A. Like a 96A. Like pretty
All
like
right.
I am a like A plus would have to be something that like defines my
Life
life.
changing. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I will say, going to Kindle Marked with my parents to ice skate for the first time in 10 years while helping my mom out through a hard time in her life, A plus.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so there you go. That's an A
I'm
plus
so glad.
experience.
I originally in my notes had graded a B plus, but that was just ice skating as a whole, as a in a way of this like, yeah, how do you possibly grade it? But I do think I agree. As a holiday tradition, there's not too much more you can do. It's a perfect solo activity. It's a perfect couple activity. It's a perfect family activity.
Mhm.
You know, it doesn't matter what stage you are in your life. Go for it. It's a good one. Also, my experience this time, it was a little bit too crowded to be able to go around at the pace that I would have normally. Which again, I would happily give that up for all the high schoolers to be able to have their experience and their
Yeah.
hopefully holiday traditions.
Mhm.
So I'm perfectly happy with an A as well.
Okay. Uh, so now is this our
Is
new
this
number
better
one?
than One Piece East Blue? Better than VGC?
God. Oof. This
Ice
is like
skating
tied.
as a holiday tradition.
I think I don't know. I as an art nerd, I let One Piece eke it out here.
All right.
But
But higher than VGC.
I don't know. That I'm not sure about. I think they're on the same tier where it's like I objectively like and respect it a lot,
Yeah.
but it's just a hard thing to grade. So I know it's A. I know it's not A minus because A minus infers there's something to take away from it. I know it's not A
Right.
plus because just emotionally that's not there.
Right.
So it's
You would have
like,
to have like fallen to tears on the ice to probably make it be an A plus.
yeah. Do you have a preference for one over the other?
Um, VGC. Let's talk through it. VGC. You very much enjoyed, and I think it will continue to hopefully be some sort of tradition for you watching. It already is for me.
Hmm.
Ice skating, you also said will continue to be a holiday tradition. So ice skating as a holiday tradition was a success. VGC Worlds 2025 also was a success in getting you there.
Hmm.
I think
I if it
it's harder for
makes
me because I was there at VGC. I
yeah.
think the edge I'm going to give to ice skating is because you came into ice skating a little nervous. You came into VGC already on board with Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true. And they ended up at the same place.
Right.
That's a good distinction to make. I'm happy with that. So now our top three are One Piece, ice
East
skating,
Blue. Ice
East,
skating as a holiday tradition.
yeah, and
VGC
then
competitive Pokemon Worlds 2025.
wow, yeah, look at
I
that.
do think we are going to potentially run into a recency bias issue with our grading,
Well,
seeing our
that's what the
trends.
regrading's for, right?
That is what our regrading, which we've mentioned this, I think, at least in the Patreon bonus episode, which if you haven't watched that, please do.
Yeah, it's
It's
free,
free.
free tier.
free tier. I don't think you even have to be a member to watch it. I think anyone that goes to the link can. Um, but we mentioned it there. I think in our every year for our 1 year anniversary, we're going to do both fan submissions. So anything in the comments that have already been submitted, we've already gotten, I think, at least two, as well as a regrading report card review sort of situation. So look forward to that.
And now we can enter into the next phase of this. Before we do that solidly, I just one last push for the Patreon.
Yeah.
This is free, completely free. It is the most solid, best way for you to keep us going. At this point, encouragement from the people who have listened, and like seeing that people are actually engaging, little as
Yeah.
it may be in the grand scheme of things, but kind of huge to us.
And every
Uh,
like too. Like when
yeah.
I see it go from like 9 to 10 likes, I'm like, oh, that's huge. That's 10 people that actually appreciated this.
If
Um,
all you're giving us is a free tier, that is going to be so meaningful to us, and it's going to encourage us to keep this coming. Even if you don't show up for the whole podcast, even if you show up for clips, whatever it is, you're appreciated. And thank you.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and there will
And we will
always be
try to do
more.
some bonuses.
Yeah.
Like Stranger Things, that wasn't, I mean, it's still about a 50-minute conversation.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Seriously, it
it
basically its
was,
own assignment
yeah.
length discussion.
Yeah, but it wasn't going to be, we weren't going to put it to this channel just because it would mess with the schedule and algorithms and things like that. Um, so we
Yeah.
put it over there for anyone that is really interested in that. So there'll be more of that to come. I mean, maybe One Piece Alabasta Saga. Tommy will hit me up like, "Hey, I caught up to the next saga," and be like, "All right, give me a week.
Yeah, who
Let's do this."
knows? Who knows? Yeah, give you a week. Dalton is definitely the one better at, taking all of these things in quickly and in good time. It will take me a year to do Alabaster, and it'll take you 2 days. Uh,
It helps that I've already done it, right?
it does, I'm sure.
You don't have to be
Uh,
as locked in.
so, and with that, hey Dalton,
Yes, sir.
have you made a video game since high school?
In college, I did one video game design course.
Okay. Do you still have the
Undergrad.
textbook?
No, but it was Unity stuff that I can pick up easy enough.
Well, I sure hope so. Because your assignment for this time is game development.
All right, I love
This
that.
is something incredibly close to me, and I know you're capable of. I think this is something that you can pour your full heart into. Or it is something that you can say, "Hey, I made a level in Mario Maker, and I want to show it to you."
Right.
Whatever you think is appropriate, whatever you think you want to bring to the table, game development is varied. This could be a mod. This could be,
Yeah.
you making something, like a song you think would work. I personally will
Interesting.
probably like do like a game jam esque level game. I'm gonna
Yeah.
commit to that. But
All right, I love that.
yeah,
You'll
uh,
probably make me get sucked down a rabbit hole, but
yeah,
I guess we'll see.
yeah. I
We have
I
to do it earnestly. You did me the favor of doing ice skating so earnestly. I, of course, will do this as equally as earnestly as that.
don't do it so earnestly that it takes over your entire life. At least
Yeah.
not to a destructive level.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah. Time will be the limiting factor to both of us.
yeah. My one game design lesson I would give you right up at the top, as this is something I've had in my past professionally. Set a realistic scope first.
Yeah.
That is step one. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Bare minimum, just a proof of concept of like uh, combat mechanic or something like that. Like you
Yes.
said, it doesn't have to be anything too crazy. Just be creative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Uh, So yeah, that's what I got for you. What you got for me?
So I guess first I want to give you a bonus one because it just came in the mail and I have it right here next to me.
Oh,
Book that came in the mail yesterday: A Bizarre World of Fake Video Games by Super Eye
oh,
Patch Wolf, who is a inspiration to me as content creator. It's
yeah.
just kind of like a kind of almost game manual esque situations, but not real video game.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
it's, I think, perfectly up your alley.
Yeah.
Just like look at some of this like art and stuff. Like
So you're just like, I know you will like this. Go buy it.
I haven't
Uh,
even read it myself,
okay.
but I'm recommending that because it came in yesterday and
If
I'm
this is a
excited.
bonus one, you think this is a Patreon thing? If people want to
It could
go
be.
see that. Okay.
It
Yeah, we'll
could
do
be.
it. We'll do
I
it
know we
quick.
also teased Scavenger's Reign. I don't know if we'll have time for that and Game Jam and my
Okay.
assignment, but and this, but
Yeah.
we'll see what we do.
We'll space it
Um,
all out.
yeah, but my actual assignment is an anime, but
Hmm.
it is an anime. So, like we have talked about earlier, you've mainly done some shonen. This is going to be a seinen. So, seinen is shonen's for young, for boys, but young boys. Seinen's a little bit an older demographic.
Okay.
You can have a range of that. That could be because it's more bloody adult. You know, you could have a berserk or something, right? Or you can have just it's more that vibe is more adult focused, not child focused. And the anime I'm picking is Mushishi.
Okay.
Mushishi to me has the perfect post holiday winter vibes. So
Okay.
winter, especially Midwest, is gray and cold. But you have that bright light of the holidays carrying you through that. After that, it doesn't mean you're miserable, but there's kind of a natural melancholy. And
Hmm.
I think Mushishi has that. It's not a sad story. It's not there's it's actually fairly episodic of a character that kind of it deals with a lot of like Japanese spirits sort of mythology sort of thing, and it's kind of this traveling person trying to heal either individuals or towns of things of these you know spirit situations gone wrong. So it's very episodic, but it's got that perfect like unique vibe of that melancholy of like I don't feel sadness, I just feel there's something there.
Yeah.
um, so that is what I
Wow.
got for you. There is 2 seasons of it. I think one is like 24 episodes, one is 20. I don't think you have to watch it all. It's
Hmm.
like I said, it's pretty episodic. There's not necessarily like a grand conclusion you're building to. I think you do however much you want. It was actually when I first watched it was college. I think it was actually back probably for winter break. It might have been summer break, but I was back home from college, and I would just watch it like at nighttime, you know, in the AMs because I wasn't working. I was on break, so I could stay up late. Um, and watch it like at the AMs like right before bed, which was like the exact vibe it needed, I think.
Hmm.
And that's what I got
Wow.
for you, kind of expanding your horizons of anime a little bit.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, I think I first of all, the fact that I haven't heard of it, huge to me. That's a big sell, first of all. You sell it very well. I'm on board right away. This sounds so
Yeah,
interesting to me.
and it's not necessarily even like in my top 5 anime. I just think it's
Mhm.
that perfect winter post holidays vibe that's kind of very unique to that, especially living somewhere that's cold.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. I'm gonna go figure out how to watch that, and I may watch episode one tonight, man. You've
There you go.
sold me. It sounds so great.
Also, super under both openings, super underrated to me.
Okay.
Um, very
Well,
unique for anime song openings, but very enjoyable.
awesome. I'm ready. All
Well,
right, and with that, the bell is
that's the
rung.
best.
Class is out. Uh, we will see you all next time on this little show of ours. Thanks for coming by. Check out the Patreon for weird little passion projects between the two of us.
Yeah,
And thanks for sticking around. We'll see you
yeah.
next time.
And find your own treasure and
Find your own
chase
treasure.
it with all you got.